Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We are so back. We are so back. Welcome in. What is up, Hannah? What is up, XT? What is up, Jessica? What is up, Rosie? What is up, Hayden? What is going on, Freestyle? What is up, Yolanda, Roslyn, Grace, Icy, Clutch, Hayden, Ness, Roosevelt, Green, Judy, Mana, Jack, Asian, Nikki, Jasmine, McKenna, Roslyn, KV, Miro, Emma, Roslyn, Ashy, Ud, Les. Welcome, Em. It is so good to see you all, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. For everybody tuning into the stream, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen. It is so good to see you all. You guys are phenomenal. Welcome in, guys. If you're voting for Trump, make sure that you are hopping in that queue, y'all. You are hopping in that queue, y'all. And if you're just here to hang, I got a call there. I got a call. Sorry, you guys. All right, we're just going to go and hop right into the debates, guys. If you guys are in the queue, make sure that you are voting for Donald Trump. For the first 420 of y'all in here, welcome into live. What's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards it. I've been watching you for a while, Dean. I've been watching you for a while, Dean, and I have two questions. I was really leaning towards what you've been saying for a while. However, what happened with Tashika really made me feel like you were. I would really like you to explain the whole situation with that. Because
what? Explain what?
Well, no, it makes me feel like you have an agenda.
I have no fucking clue. What do you want me to explain?
You and Tashika was cool, and then the whole information with the N-word came out.
I haven't been.
And
cool
then all
with
of a
Tashika
sudden,
for a long time.
you guys are on outs, and then as soon as she shows up,
I haven't been cool with Tashika for a year.
There's a lot of rumors that it's due to racism. And I would really
no,
like
I'm not cool with Tashika because she. I'm not cool with Tashika because she sexualized me. She hit on me, knowing that I had a girlfriend, made me uncomfortable, telling me to start an OnlyFans, and made fun of someone's stutter when I have a stutter. Is that racism?
That is 100% not racism.
Ah, exactly.
And then a lot of people are saying your Jubilee video came out, and then as soon as she comes up, you guys immediately vote her out.
Because she's making a bad point. That's what you're supposed to do when people are making bad points.
No, you're right. I 100% agree with you. I just wanted you to explain that whole situation because a lot of people was talking with it. Dub Dean.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming up, man. Have a good rest of your day. We're going to move on to our next guest, guys. Make sure if you are in the queue that you are voting for Trump. We're going to, I mean, anyone could verify that what I'm saying is right. Feel free to watch the video. What's up, Bretton? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, man.
All right. Why's that?
I just feel like I've just watched so many interviews of Kamala saying a lot. It seems like she just says a whole lot of nothing. And when she says, what could I have done? The CNN interview the other day, when she says, what could I have done differently? And she just says, well, nothing. Or she says something, what she did as a parent,
What? You got it. Wait, no. Repeat everything you said. Why are you voting for Trump?
The border mostly.
The border. Okay, so yeah. So we all knew that a border crisis was going to begin when Title 42 expired. That was natural, normal, and expected. All right, and we should evaluate the efficacy and responsibility of the current admin based upon their response to the border crisis. The response to the border crisis was to influence bipartisan border legislation through the House and the Senate, which they did, but which Trump then torpedoed by telling the Republicans in Congress to vote against it. Right. So, I mean, if your issue is the border, why are you voting for Trump knowing that he is the only candidate that has torpedoed border legislation that would have resolved the crisis? All right. He left. He left. We're going to move on to our next guest. Everyone, do just give us a minute here, guys. Everyone, just do be patient. What's up, Max? Are you voting for Trump?
I am.
Okay, are you driving?
I am not currently driving. I'm parked right now in my driveway.
I'm so sorry, Max, but you just have like a terrible, terrible mic. We're going to move on to our next guest here. Everyone, just give us a minute. What's up, Kyle? Are you voting for Trump?
No, I just wanted to come up and say, hope you're having a good day, Dean.
I appreciate that, Kyle. W fetus. Moving on to our next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute for the 1.4 thousand people hanging out with us in here today. Welcome in, y'all. What's up, Devin? I appreciate you for the $5 on PayPal. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
And why is that?
Well, I'm just voting for the lesser of the two evils.
Okay, so why is the rapist, felon, wannabe dictator, and day one fascist the lesser of the two evils?
Well, he's not Kamala Harris.
Okay, so why is Kamala Harris worse than the 34-count felon, rapist, dictator, and day one fascist that tried to stage a coup to overthrow our country and rig an election? That's also sexualized little girls and boasted about walking into the changing rooms of them too, and boasted about grabbing women by the P word without consent, and denied housing applications to black people because of their race, and called all black people lazy, said the N-word on Apprentice, and said that Obama shouldn't be able to run for president because he's black. He's obviously not from America.
Okay, well, you've said the N-word too. Does that make you ineligible to ever run for office?
I have said the N-word when I was 14 and 17. Well, when I was 14, I've used slurs in my past. But what?
Yeah. So does that make you ineligible to run for office?
Don't interrupt me. I've engaged in the use of slurs, and what have I done? I've changed my character. I've apologized and held myself accountable. And
yeah. So who's to say Trump hasn't changed his character?
Show me one place where he's apologized, held himself accountable, or changed his character.
Who's to say he hasn't changed his character? Just because you don't publicly say something doesn't mean you can't change your character.
Show me where he's held himself accountable.
Show me where he hasn't.
Yeah, no, he hasn't held himself accountable anywhere.
Yeah, so people can change. Clearly, you've changed, right? So how can
show me where he's held himself accountable?
Hasn't changed?
Yeah, no, just show us where he's apologized and held himself accountable.
Oh, so you want him to publicly apologize for something that he said?
Yeah, I want him to publicly apologize and hold himself accountable for his racism. That's what you're supposed to do.
No. I don't think he has to prove it.
Wait, I can actually show you where I actually can show you where he hasn't held himself accountable. In a 2018 C-SPAN interview, he said that he's never had to ask for an apology for anything in his life ever.
Okay.
He's never had to ask for forgiveness from God for anything in his life ever.
Okay. Well, how does that show that he's unfit for office, dude? What's Kamala Harris done?
No, I specifically asked you how he was better than Kamala Harris.
Let's see. There's a better economy under Trump. He has better policies for our border.
Okay, really? Like what? Name one border policy.
What's Kamala Harris done for our border?
No, I'm asking you about what you said.
Over 11
I'm asking you about what you said. We could talk about that next. Tell me how he made the economy better, or tell me one of his border policies that you thought was good.
I mean, people say that they've done better under Harris than they have under Trump, yet we're still under Trump's tax policy. So if you're really doing better under under Harris, then you can thank Trump for that.
So I'm going to go back to exactly what I said. Can you please tell me one economic policy of his that you thought was good, or one border policy of his that you thought was good? Because that was the question that I asked.
Yeah, I think the wall was a good idea.
Oh, okay, the wall that had less than 4% built couldn't get approved by Congress, so it didn't misappropriate duty funds by it. And then after construction began and ended, we had increasing crossings into our country.
Have you seen what's happening now, Dean?
And then
there's
increasing crossings into our country year by year. And then when COVID was implemented, that's when he claimed his clampdown start, meaning that Trump didn't even claim the border as one of his good policies to clamp down on migration.
There's American soldiers that are being trampled over at our border. Have you seen those videos?
So we could talk about all of that after you answer my question. You said that he was good for the economy.
Tell me how he's good for that. But you don't want to address that.
I can address that. I'm just not going to let you pivot.
Okay,
I asked you why.
Justify.
I asked you why Trump was better than Kamala Harris, and I will be responding to those reasons. Okay? We could talk about the border. We could talk about whatever you want after you respond to those reasons.
Yeah.
You said that Trump was better than Kamala Harris because of the economy and because of the southern border. Okay? So tell me how he made the economy better, or name his good southern border policy.
Yeah, I think everything that Trump's did is better. He pushes for things to be made in the states. Hence the tariffs on other countries. That is to drive American production so we can have it here in the states. Are you opposed to that?
No, I actually completely and totally agree with that. I think that we need to reinvigorate manufacturing here at home in America.
Sure. So that would mean charging other countries more.
No, wrong. Boo. Okay? Because tariffs, although they do incentivize domestic productions of good, they're an unnecessary government regulation that creates very drastic inefficiencies, such as higher levels of inflation for the end consumer, or even it can impede upon a company's exports here at home in the U.S. Right? There's other ways to incentivize American manufacturing that do not include or induce these things, such as pure raw investment into American manufacturing. We did this under Biden and Harris with the Chips and Science Act. By 2030, we're going to be producing 20% of the global chip supply. And under Trump, we did this with his American Farmers Plan, where he invested $28 billion into American farmers, right, specifically so he could invigorate their manufacturing, right? So when you say that his good economic policy is tariffs, no, because there's other ways to achieve the end goal of an increase in domestic production of goods that doesn't create the same drastic inefficiencies for the consumer and American businesses.
When was Biden's economy at its greatest?
Okay, so that's a pivot. Respond to the thing about tariffs.
No, that's a question.
Well, it's a question that I'm not going to answer because I'm not going to engage in your pivot. Respond to the
When was
conversation
Biden's
about tariffs.
economy the greatest?
So I'll tell you for a second time, I'm refusing to answer your question because it is pivoting away from the point that you brought up to do with tariffs.
Yeah, you're good at. You've asked me like 3 questions. I've answered them. You've yet to answer one of mine. When was Biden's economy
I asked you why I asked you why you think Trump is better than Harris.
And I've told you I support. Yes, I support.
I asked you why Trump was better than Harris. You said economy and border.
I told you I support his policy.
I first asked you about the border. You said the wall. I responded to that. And then you told me about the economy and you said that you liked his tariffs. And I've given you a sufficient rebuttal insofar as why tariffs are bad. Okay? So go ahead and respond to that.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't agree that they're bad. I think that if you drive
tell me why.
I think if you basically drive the price up so much that other countries aren't going to want to fuck with us, then yeah, it's going to drive the means of production to America. Therefore, more things be made in the States. I would actually prefer to pay $5 more for something that was made in America than something that was made overseas by some 5-year-old snapping shit together in a warehouse. I'm glad that you support child labor, though. Illegal child labor at that.
Okay, so let's see if you were listening. What was my response about tariffs?
Say again.
Let's see if you were listening. What was my position on tariffs and why?
Oh, that you disagree with him.
And why do I disagree with them?
I don't know. It didn't make sense.
Okay,
So I just kind of stopped listening why you didn't disagree. I mean, like why you disagreed with them, because I think we should have tariffs. Our whole country ran off of tariffs at one point, and you don't agree with them.
I will now go ahead and repeat to you my reasons why I disagree with tariffs. First of all, about our whole country running off of tariffs at one point.
Good morning, by the way.
Because we had to protect American manufacturing when we were just building our country prior and in the 19th century, the 18th and 19th century, from imports. I was good at this point, not good at this point. And the reason it's not good at this point is because there's other ways that we could protect and influence more American manufacturing that don't create the same inefficiencies that tariffs do when we're talking about plummeting exports of U.S. companies and causing inflation for the end consumer. We
Dean,
can
have you ate
also
anything
inspire
today?
more American manufacturing if we invest into American manufacturers, such as Biden and Harris did with the Chips and Science Act, or such as how Trump did with his American Farmers Plan.
Dean, have you ate anything today?
Yeah.
What'd you eat?
Nuggets from Wendy's. But please respond to what I just said.
Chicken nuggets and Wendy's. Okay, cool. All right, just making sure that you're feeding yourself and everything, and
So go ahead and respond to what I just said while I eat my nuggets from Wendy's.
Okay, yeah. So I'm actually eating too. I'm actually eating a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. So yeah, I'll respond to what you said. So would you be able to answer my question by chance, though?
Yeah, after you respond to this conversation about tariffs, man, let's go topic by topic.
Okay, so let's move off the tariffs because I've already said that I believe that we should charge. I believe that we should charge more than Trump did. I disagree with Trump on that. I think we should charge countries 5 times the amount.
Cass, thank you so much for the $25 on Vin. Let's get some massive
I'd say
W
take
Casses in the
whatever
chat.
number
One moment.
Trump
For the
says.
$25, I really appreciate you for that. That is so incredibly kind of you. W Casses in the chat. That is CASS. Thank you so much for the love.
Take whatever the number is that Trump says and let's like times it by 5. That's what I think we should impose on other countries that have been screwing us over for years.
Okay, so go ahead and repeat to me my reasons why I disagreed with tariffs.
Yeah, they weren't valid.
And we'll repeat them to me so I can make sure you understood them.
Just say them again, Dean.
Okay, for a third time? Okay. Will you promise? Okay, say, I promise I will listen to you this time. Say that for me.
Promise I will try to understand where you're coming from on this time.
Okay. The sentiment of tariffs is to inspire more American manufacturing.
No, I agree with that.
I agree with that sentiment. The reason I disagree with tariffs is because there's other things we could do in our economy
Like
to
what?
inspire more American manufacturing that don't create inflation like tariffs do. And
Like what?
Destroy American exports like tariffs.
What are those other things that we could do?
Investing raw money into American manufacturers is the best way to inspire American manufacturing. And my reason for you to believe this is, well, we've done it under both Biden, Harris, and Trump.
Harris has destroyed the manufacturing jobs in America. Trump did. They were way better under Trump.
Well, they're actually worse. We had more jobs outside of America for manufacturing, and we had a boom in manufacturing jobs and investment under Biden and Harris. But this also doesn't respond to my point. So
No,
by
but
2030,
Trump
we're gonna be
did better
producing
for the manufacturing in America. That's a fact. Look it up.
You know what he did for manufacturing in America? He invested money into them through the American Farmers Act.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with investing money into farmers, right?
Do you agree with something that Trump did?
Yeah, but the only reason he did that is because he destroyed them with his tariffs. So basically,
Whoa,
he imposed,
what? No,
Yeah,
he didn't destroy them with his terrorists.
yeah, he
dude.
did. I could explain to you how. So
Okay.
he increased tariffs on China that bankrupted American farmers because it plummets
Dude,
US
fuck
ex-
China, bro. Honestly, what?
Dude, you were a child. You
There's
can't
no
even
way that
listen
you're
to what I'm saying.
defending China right now, bro.
I'm defending American farmers. When he increased tariffs on China, it reduced U.S. agricultural exports, predominantly of soybeans, that bankrupted hundreds of American farmers. And then he had to invest $28 billion into them to bail them out to rebuild their businesses. And this is just an example of how raw investment of funds into our companies, right, can influence a higher level of manufacturing.
I think Trump cares about the modern man a lot more than you think he does.
By the modern what?
Like the modern man.
Um,
Like typical American. I think he cares a lot more than you think he
what
does.
the fuck is going? Can you respond to my point about the tariffs?
Yeah, no, I disagree. I think that the best way to be able to drive manufacturing in America is to like completely eliminate countries like China that screw us over on, shit that's not even real.
Okay, why?
Well, one, I'm not really for like 8-year-olds snapping toys together.
Remember, there's other ways to inspire American manufacturing to stop like child labor.
Right, like I disagree with. Do you agree with child labor laws? Like, do you think that it's okay what they do in China?
No, I don't think it's okay. That's why I think that we should have more of a focus on American manufacturing through investment.
I agree with that. So we can agree with that. We just can't agree on how to get there.
Amanda, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love. Amanda's down below in the chat.
So,
thank you so much. W's for Amanda.
It sounds like we both want things made in America, right? Can we agree with that?
I've clarified on that 3 times now.
Okay, so we both want things that's made in America.
That's like a
but
part
we
of my.
disagree on how we get there.
Yeah, because you
So
think
I
that
would
we should
say,
get there
yeah,
with
I would
something that
say-
causes inflation and a reduction of U.S. exports, and I think we should get there through something that doesn't cause inflation and actually increases U.S. exports.
Well, I think if we banish like certain goods from coming in, right, and like obviously like your foods that we do import from other countries, sure, keep those coming regularly. But
Okay, we're
a lot
gonna
of
reduce it
goods-
down to this. So there's 2 ways to inspire more American manufacturing. You have way number 1 and you have way number 2. Okay, way number 1 causes inflation and destroys American companies. Way number 2 does not cause inflation and uplifts American companies. Which one are you picking?
The one that takes away child labor
They both do, because remember, they both shift.
China's still going to be doing their thing,
to buying
though.
American products.
They're still going to make money. I mean, the only thing that's going to be made, the only thing that's going to be American sold, it's going to be like.
Just answer my question. Answer my question. Answer my question. We want to shift away from goods from China.
What was your question?
And we want to shift to goods from the U.S. There's two ways to do this. Way number one and way number two. If we choose way number one, there will also be inflation and a reduction in our own exports. If we choose way number two, there will not be inflation.
No, it's not gonna. No, there's still gonna be inflation, dude.
No, there won't.
Yes, there will. There'll be inflation either way you go.
No.
I would rather just have the more extreme to be able to drive means production to America.
Why do you think that if we invest in American companies, there's going to be inflation like there would be through tariffs, when tariffs serve the purpose of causing inflation to incentivize Americans?
Dude, it's the same. I mean, it's the same thing either way you look at it. Like
it's not.
We're driving means of production to America.
One second. What's a tariff?
Well, I mean, I guess the best way to think about it would be like a tax on imported goods.
Okay, and a tax on imported goods causes inflations by making imported goods more expensive for the end consumer. That's how you incentivize American manufacturing. Investing into American businesses doesn't cause inflation.
So do you think taking tariffs away would help?
Drastically.
Oh, yeah, okay, we could agree with that, but it's not going to happen. Kamala is even in favor of tariffs.
First of all, her name is pronounced Kamala. Then second of all, she's in favor of tariffs on China, not all goods imported into her country. So yeah, there will be a difference.
Yeah, so I mean, that's like not far off from what Trump said.
No, it's fucking so far off. There's a big difference.
Trump just wants to increase the tariffs from everywhere, which I would agree.
Is there a difference between tariffs on all imports and tariffs imported from one country?
Yeah.
You just said that there wasn't that big of a difference.
No, it's not that big of a difference as far as what they want to get done. I feel like
it's a massive fucking difference.
Here's the thing, like, we're not worried. Trump, I mean, anybody supporting Trump is really not worried. We're not.
You don't worry about anything because you don't fucking think. You can only be worried if you think. You wonder why, like, the more intelligent someone is, the more predisposed they are to, like, depression or anxiety. It's because they use their damn brain, dude. You know what I mean? We're going to move on to our next guest. Like, you ever wonder why the family dog is so damn happy all the time? You know what I mean? It's because they have a little fucking peanut brain. They don't care. They're just having fun. Okay? We're going to move on to our next guest here, guys. Make sure to drop a MAGA or make sure to drop a MAGA dab a little bit in the chat if you do want to come up and debate. We're going to get our next guest up on the live right now, guys. And if you do want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio, y'all. Let's go and get our next guest up in the box literally right now, y'all. Everyone just do give us a minute, y'all. Everyone just do give us a minute while our next guest is loading in. But please, 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 if you are in the queue, just make sure that you're voting for Trump. We are just looking for debates. All right, let's see who we got up next, y'all. So everyone just do give us a minute. We're going to get Nick A30 up in the box. He better be family friendly. Hi, are you voting for Trump?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Awesome, you are. Why's that?
First off, I'm assuming you watched the CNN town hall last night?
I actually did not watch the CNN town hall last night.
Have you seen any clips, like, on X or TikTok or...
No, I was busy last night and I just woke up.
Okay, well, I'm assuming you've already seen in the past Kamala can't even answer a question without just doing a word salad, but, like, did you see how she was asked?
I'd like to clarify, like, I have seen clips of, like, Kamala Harris trying to answer interviewers' questions and just, like, absolutely fucking failing. I think for the most part, like, she's like really good at speaking, answering questions, etc.
Not
but
like
they're definitely like that is probably my biggest critique of Kamala Harris right now is her inability to answer some questions. Okay, right, but I mean that is like so much better than like trying to coup the country and overthrow our government or raping a woman, being a 34 count felon or an attempted religious prosecutor when Trump wanted to ban all new Muslims from coming into her country.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
No, I don't, because you think that if, like, a foreign leader from another country could ask Kamala a question and then she just says a word salad and doesn't know how to.
Oh no,
answer.
baby, she locks in. She locks in under pressure.
Oh,
All
you
right,
think
let's re-reference that debate with Trump. How did that go for him?
What debate? The one in September or the one?
Yeah, how did that go for him? How did that go for him? She locks in under pressure. That's damn straight. Honestly, if you want my honest answer, the only reason why I think that she has been avoiding questions from reporters is because she doesn't want to. One moment, shut the fuck up while I speak. Is the only reason I think that she's been avoiding questions from reporters, etc. is because that she doesn't want to decrease her position in polls by pissing more people off by saying something that Donald Trump could take a hold of and manipulate. But no, in those high pressure situations, she locks the fuck in. Don't play with Prosecutor Harris. That's a fact.
So, do you think last night wasn't a high pressure situation?
Bro, I wasn't watching last night, dummy.
Televised on national TV.
I wasn't watching last night.
I don't care if you were watching or not. Was last night a high pressure situation?
No, probably not for her.
Why? What makes last night different from the debate? They say that Donald Trump backed out of yesterday's debate, even though it was just a CNN town hall. She backed out of the 3 dates that Donald Trump requested.
Which ones did she back out of?
There was supposed to be an NBC debate, an ABC debate, and a Fox debate, and she backed out of the NBC debate and the Fox one.
So when did she accept the Fox one? Because in order to back out of it, she has to accept it first.
Okay, so if you're saying you have to accept, then why are they saying that Donald Trump backed out of the CNN one?
We could talk about that next. Let's
okay,
talk about
can
the
you
Fox.
go back to my point? Can you go back to my point?
Okay, bro, you're all... Dude, calm down. I understand that it's probably your first time on live.
It's not, because I've actually been on live with you. Actually,
it's probably your first time debating someone like me too. But you got to calm down. You got to go topic by topic. Just because you don't know what to say doesn't justify a pivot. So please tell me when she accepted the Fox News debate, because in order to back out of it...
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Back out of it.
She declined it.
Okay. Trump declined any follow-up debate with Kamala Harris after their one.
Because Trump won the debate, and anytime that Kamala goes on national
really,
TV,
why do you think that Trump won that debate?
Drops. Say that again?
Why do you think Trump won that debate?
Why do I think that he won it?
Yeah. So you don't have an answer there because he lost. And we know that he lost because for sure, dude. I got you because of her big fucking brain. So yeah, she went in there and intentionally. She went in there intentionally trying to piss Trump off to get him to say some crazy shit. Her campaign even publicly announced these plans prior to the debate, meaning that his campaign had these plans, and yet it still fucking worked. And he got him to ramble about how big his rallies are and Haitians eating cats and dogs for 20 minutes. All right, and then he also contradicted himself. He's all over the fucking place, saying that she was a communist because of her legislation and policy, but her legislation and policy is stolen from him insofar as he should send her a Trump hat. She's fucking brilliant. She killed it. And we know that she won, or Trump wouldn't be coping, accusing her of having speakers in her ears.
Okay.
He was 1v3ing the whole time.
It was completely biased.
I'm just still so... Okay, yeah, there's the conspiracy bullshit.
What do you mean conspiracy? It was a 3v1.
No, it was a 3v1 Kamala Harris versus Trump and the moderators. They give him 8 minutes more to talk. They let him interject at the end of the prompt. Wouldn't let her interject. It was absolutely so biased against her, and that's a fact. Anyways, I'm going to go back to what I was saying. You're concerned about Kamala Harris not answering some questions.
No, it's not. That's not what I'm saying.
Then what is your critique?
Can you listen? My point is that when she gets interviewed, she can't answer questions. Not that she's avoiding interviews. My point is, if you listen to the CNN town hall last night or her 60 Minutes interview, she can't answer a question. She just talks in circles.
Trump didn't even show up.
Oh, so now you're saying that he didn't show up?
Yeah, just 60 Minutes.
Well, she just didn't show up to the Joe Rogan podcast that they invited her to either. So
wait, I'm sorry. Is there a precedent set that presidential candidates go on the Joe Rogan podcast every 4 years?
No, but
is there a precedent set that presidential candidates go on 60 Minutes every 4 years?
And is there
no, answer my question. Is there a precedent set? No. Answer my question. Is there a precedent set, right, that presidential candidates show up to 60 Minutes every 4 years?
Yes, but is there a precedent set saying the presidents show up to that Catholic dinner?
There you fucking go.
What dinner was that last week? There's a precedent set?
Yeah, there was a precedent set, but her not showing up to that didn't convey any bad virtues to the American public.
But it
because
conveyed
they're not
bad
discussing
virtues
and
if she
sharing
didn't
their
show up to a
policy
60
or what
minutes
they want to
interview.
believe in. Yeah,
Dean,
well, yeah,
stop moving.
because at the 60 minutes, okay, dude, I'm trying to respond to you, but you're interrupting me. Do you mind if I speak?
You're not letting me speak either. It's like a back and forth yelling.
I am letting you speak if you just let me finish.
You speak.
Yeah, so not showing up to the Catholic dinner, right? Well, that's not a place where candidates go to convey their policy or their plans to the American people. That's just to hang out with other people and like socialize, really. They like interview it and they like roast each other.
It kind of
sets. Funny. But the difference between that and something like town hall is like at this like 60 minutes interview, that is where they're put in under criticism, where they're supposed to show their plans to the American people and let them be criticized very hard, right, by the 60 minutes interviewer. Right, so of course we're going to say that it's more important for these candidates to show up to a 60 minutes interview, right, where what they believe in and their policy is put on the line and critiqued compared to a roasting session.
And do you think if it was the other way around, you would be saying the exact same thing? Because I think if it was, and he showed up to the 60 minutes, and he didn't show up to that Catholic dinner, it would be the exact same thing. President...
I wouldn't... Yeah, the same thing would be true if it was the opposite.
Every president has shown up to that Catholic dinner since...
So dispute my reasonings why not showing up to 60 minutes is much more important than not showing up to
because it's the same exact thing for not showing up to the Catholic dinner.
No, because at the Catholic dinner, are their policies and what they believe in put under intense scrutiny and pressure?
No, but they speak.
So it's not the same thing.
They speak. They speak in front of the crowd. And did you see Donald Trump actually did?
No, I just want to clarify. You said that they were the same thing, so thereby they're not the same thing, right?
What are you saying?
They're not the same thing, dumbass?
They're two separate things, but it puts forward the same idea.
No, it doesn't, because in the 60 minutes interview, their policies, their beliefs, their legislation, and what they're going to do for the American people is put under intense scrutiny for over an hour.
That's
what goes on at the dinner.
They have an interview.
No, dude. Okay. If you interrupt me again, I'm going to kick you. Can you control yourself?
Speak.
Thank you. So the difference between 60 minutes and the Catholic dinner is that at the Catholic dinner, you just have scripted roasts where you go up there and you make fun of other people and you have a jolly good old time and you eat in a social environment and it's publicized for the American people to see. I wish Kamala Harris showed up to that. It would have been fun, but I don't really care that she didn't. About the 60 minutes interview, that is where what their policy, their platform, what they believe in, and what they want to do for the American public is put on the line in front of millions of people to see it get very intensely scrutinized by the interviewer. Every single presidential candidate that we've had since 60 Minutes started doing these interviews has showed up to have their policies put under scrutiny. Donald Trump didn't show up. So I'd say that Kamala Harris not showing up to the Catholic dinner shows us that she didn't want to socialize with a rapist. But Donald Trump not showing up to the 60 Minutes interviews shows us that his policy cannot maintain consistency. His policy has no depth, has no nuance, and when put under true fucking scrutiny, it falls apart. And I could even demonstrate to you exactly how it falls apart. It falls apart because he has no plan how he wants to pay for his tax cuts. It falls apart because he has no plan for healthcare. Even though he says that the ACA and Obamacare are bad, it falls apart because he has no legitimate plan to fix and reform our southern border. It falls apart because he has no legitimate plan for like how his taxes are going to be distributed and how it's going to be different last time, because last time we didn't see any increase in business investment on the macro scale. And those are the questions that the American public want answered. It falls apart because him and JD Vance can answer if he won or lost 2020, and he knew that he would have been put under scrutiny for that. And it honestly falls apart because any single time he's in a hostile environment like that, he fucking destroys himself by getting all worked up and emotional and loses it and drops in the polls. That's what happened after his debate with Kamala Harris. And if Joe Biden was, peak 12 years back, it would have happened then too. But Christian, I appreciate you so much for the $50 on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Christian. Let's get some massive W Christians in the chat for the $50. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. W fucking Christians down below. Thank you so much.
Okay, so going back to the thing that you were talking about 3 minutes ago after that big rant, the 60 Minutes interview was completely edited, and they have come out with a statement saying that it literally was edited. So what do you think about them editing it to make it sound like Kamala is much more competent than she actually is. She can't say a single thing in a coherent way, so they have to edit it in a way to make it seem like she's coherent.
So how do you know that they edited it to make her seem more coherent?
Because have you not seen, there is a clip where it shows her full response to one question and then the published response from CBS 60 Minutes, and they completely get out of all that word salad to make it seem like she has a coherent response to that one question. I forget what question it is.
Wait,
What?
so you're saying that there was a leaked clip of it before it got edited?
No, they released the unedited and the edited. Have you not seen that clip?
Show me.
How can I show you? I'm on fucking live, bro.
Wait, so they released the unedited and the edited?
Bro,
So they released the unedited video?
you are like impossible to talk to because you know exactly what I'm saying, but you're like, show me it as if I can on your live video right now.
So now you're just assuming that I know something?
I'm not
even though I'm
assuming.
saying that you don't.
Look it up online right now on Google. 60 Minutes interview.
You know what?
Harris
We could
edited.
just skip to the end here because you're gonna die in the hill that Kamala Harris can't speak and answer questions.
She can't because that's
What-
going back
so,
to my main
Hey,
point.
Nick, there's your last interruption. You do it again, you're gone. So I have a question. What's worse, not being able to answer some questions or raping a woman and trying to enter democracy by overthrowing our government in an attempt to rig the outcome of a federal election?
I think not answering questions because a president has to answer questions from other foreign
the
leaders.
fuck?
And if they cannot answer questions from other foreign leaders, then they can't be president. Did you not hear her last night? Can I finish? Did you not hear her last night saying one of...
Explain to me why you think that not being able to answer some questions from interviewers, but being able to perform well in hostile environments with people like Trump or other foreign world leaders, right, is going to be worse than trying to overthrow our government. And I've already responded to your parallel here to not being able to answer questions from world leaders. She's demonstrated how she can hold up better than world leaders, better than Trump, literally, right? When she was going toe-to-toe with him under a high-pressure environment, she absolutely took the cake, answering more questions and outperforming him in every facet. And that is a world leader, dude. So when
I still
she's on
don't
the line
understand
with
how you
world
say-
leaders, she is going to answer questions. But I just want to clarify, trying to end our democracy isn't as bad as not answering some questions from reporters because she doesn't want to drop in the polls and she's scared that Trump will manipulate her response into going against her. Really? Are you going to die
I'm
on the
confused
hill?
why you keep muting me. If this is a debate...
would you rather Kamala Harris try to rig the outcome of this election and steal it from Trump, or Kamala Harris not answering some questions from reporters?
Well, do you not understand what I'm saying? That not
Answer my
answering
question.
some questions.
Answer my fucking question.
Answering your question.
No. Would you rather Kamala Harris rig the outcome of this election and steal it from Trump, or Kamala Harris not answer some questions from some reporters?
Well, both of those are going to happen because she already doesn't answer questions from some
No.
reporters, and it's
Answer
going
my
to be
question.
rigged.
Answer my question. Oh, you
Because
think it's going to be
illegal
rigged?
immigrants, even in Texas, are voting for Kamala and the Democratic nominee.
So actually, undocumented migrants can't vote, sweetie.
Well, did you see how Texas is actually suing the Biden-Harris administration because there are a ton of people that are registered voters that aren't actually citizens?
Okay, so how can you be a registered voter without
Ignoring
being a
that
US
point,
citizen?
I guess. Okay.
How can you be a registered voter without being a U.S. citizen? When you register,
That's
to vote, you have to
why
provide your
they are
state registered
suing.
SSN.
That's why they are suing the Biden-Harris administration.
No, you literally can't register to vote without being a citizen.
But it doesn't matter if they register to vote. They still did vote is what the thing is. And that's
No,
why
you
the
can't.
Texas...
No, you can't.
Look it up. Look up Texas.
No, you could generate me
Biden-Harris
absolutely
administration.
any evidence. Give me any evidence, because in order to register,
Any
to vote,
evidence? Do
you
you
have
want me to
have a
look
social
up an
security
article
number.
right now? Do you want me to look up the article right now?
You have to have a social security number in order to be registered to vote, man.
And do you realize that the reason why all these illegal immigrants are coming into the country now and why they allowed it is because they're having them vote for the Democratic nominee?
They can't
which
vote,
is-
bro.
Look it up. They are going to, and that's why the election is going to be rigged.
Okay, please give me any source to demonstrate undocumented migrants voting on a large scale in prior elections.
Okay, but do you want me to give you the source where Texas...
No, I want you to give me a source that they voted already. Give me
No,
a source
I'm
that
not-
undocumented migrants
I don't have
have
the
voted
source
in
right now, but I'll give
any
you the
federal
source.
election ever.
Why are you cutting me off?
Because I'm
Let me see.
asking you for a very specific source. Give me a source that demonstrate undocumented migrants have ever voted in any election.
There's no evidence right now, but why do you think the Texas governor is suing
Oh my God.
the Biden-Harris
Whoa.
administration? That is evidence itself.
Oh, wait, really? Okay, so give me
Yes.
the evidence in the lawsuit.
Okay, can I... look up the article to give it to you.
Give me the evidence directly from the publicly available lawsuit that undocumented migrants are voting.
Oh, one sec.
I don't want an article saying that he's suing her for that. I want to know what the evidence is in the lawsuit.
Texas is suing the Biden-Harris
And
administration.
you could sue without evidence. Show me the evidence in the lawsuit. Do I need to ask again?
Look it up. Don't kick me off the live, okay?
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. These conspiracy theorists are fucking rough, but don't worry. We will come out on top. We will come out on top. And I'm going to keep my hands up so he knows that I can't kick him, because I feel like he just wants to leave and run away and then have the whole chat spam that I kicked him. Someone in the chat says that I swear Charlie would destroy you. False. Never would happen. Never would happen. In fact, Charlie said I was the smartest debater he's ever spoken to that gave us the best point ever. And I actually just debated Ben Shapiro as well, guys. It's live on Jubilee's new video.
Okay, so Fox News, Texas Attorney General sues Biden-Harris administration for potentially 450,000 ineligible voters.
So, I want the evidence in the lawsuit that undocumented migrants are voting.
I don't have the evidence right now. I'm not the one
there's no
with the
evidence for
evidence. Why would I have evidence in my pocket to give to you on a live after
You can't find any evidence anywhere on the internet that you just find any evidence anywhere on the internet that's happening.
Here's an article if you want to read through it.
No, that's an article about the existence of a lawsuit for ineligible voters, which, by the way, doesn't necessarily imply undocumented migrants. Minors are ineligible voters. Felons are ineligible voters. People not from Texas with a registered address that they at least live for half of the year that are U.S. citizens are ineligible to vote in the federal election from the state of Texas. You understand these things, right? So I need you to isolate for undocumented migrants and provide me with evidence from the lawsuit that they're suing them specifically for undocumented migrants, and that the lawsuit would include evidence that they are voting. You have already conceded that there exists no evidence outside of this lawsuit that undocumented migrants have ever voted in any federal election ever in our country. So if there is evidence it must necessarily exist in this lawsuit, so give it to me. You're not going to sit up here and conflate and try to convince me and the other people watching that ineligible voters are identical to undocumented migrants. Then on top of that, you could sue someone without any fucking evidence, so provide me the evidence straight from the lawsuit. And Real Fly, thank you so much for the diamond gym gun. Let's go. W Real Fly down below. I really appreciate you so much for the love. Let's get some massive love for Real Fly in the chat. It is so good to see you, man. It has been forever. W Real Fly, thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate that.
I'm just confused as if why you think I have the lawsuit pulled up on an external computer right now, and I've read through the hundreds of pages to find the evidence.
So wait, you're really asking? So you're trying to like stigmatize me for like asking you for evidence for what you believe in?
Because
yeah. So the reason I'm asking you for evidence, he just left, by the way. I'm so happy that I had both hands in frame. I'm so fucking happy that I had both hands in frame, so no one can say I kicked him. Get fucked on. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's because, yes, you do require evidence for what you believe in. But what's going on, Free Thought? Are you voting for Trump?
I am voting for Trump, yes.
Phenomenal. Why is that? And Alex, thank you so much for the fireworks. I appreciate you for the love. W Alex is in the chat. Thank you.
He's got a better tax policy. He's not great with it. He spends a lot, but I think he's got a better tax policy, or at least better tax stances, such as no tax on tip, no tax on Social Security, possibly getting rid of payroll taxes. So I think in that sense, he's slightly better.
Yeah, so particular facets of his tax policy, no tax on tips, overtime, Social Security, etc. I don't think he's going to end up passing those because he has no plan for how he intends to pay for them. The CBO would estimate that the totality of his tax policy for 10 years is estimated to cost between $6 and $7 trillion. If you could demonstrate to me exactly where that money is going to come from, I'll accept your argument.
I don't think it really matters where it comes from, because we haven't really cared about the debt for decades now.
Thank you so much for that, ICU. So he's just going to be recklessly spending?
I don't think it really matters. I think the idea of we're going to pay back the debt or we're not going to go into more debt, it's that ship has left the building. It no longer really.
Okay, well then Kamala Harris definitely has a better tax policy, right? Because her tax policy is estimated to cost $2.4 trillion. It's not going to increase the debt by a dime over the next 10 years, and it's going to go straight into the pockets of 100 million American workers in the low and the middle class. When you bring a $7 trillion tax relief bill to Congress with absolutely no plan how to pay that off, either by decreasing government spending or increasing revenues through other sources. Well, what we'd be demonstrating here is we know that that'd be blocked by Congress and it wouldn't have support from the American public. And for you, as a Republican, to be sitting up here and saying that you're going to vote for the person that recklessly spends, it's going to increase the debt with no plan how to pay for it, even though one of the biggest government expenditures is interest on debt, and every U.S. citizen pays about $6,000 per year just for interest on debt through their federal taxes.
Yeah,
it's absolutely fucking insane.
It's going
I guess
up
I'm going to say I'm going to
vote.
vote for Kamala Harris because she's going to be better for the debt than Donald Trump. She's going to be better for the 100 million American workers.
She will. I will concede this.
She's going to be better for income and equity.
She will be better for the federal government. I don't care about that. I care about what's better for the average person. So am I going to get to keep more money? Is my neighbor going to get to keep more money? Because the government doesn't give a shit about, paying down the debt or paying down the interest.
Yeah, I don't think unless you could give me a plan for where that money's going to come from, I don't think he's going to pass.
It doesn't matter, but where it comes from leads to, is it going to be better for the government?
I don't think he's going to pass it if he doesn't have a plan for where it's going to come from.
It'll pass if he's got Congress on the right side.
Maria, I appreciate you for the $20 on Venmo saying keep going. I really appreciate you for the love, Maria.
So,
let's get some W Marias. 1 second. Let's get some W Marias down below in the chat. Thank you so much. And Alex, thank you for the 2 money guns.
Yeah, so I don't think Kamala Harris is going to be able to pass things if she doesn't have Congress on her side. And if she does, then she'll probably be able to pass these things.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's not even going to get proposed. Like, basically what he's doing is, like, Donald Trump is like, I'm basically going to delete all these taxes. I have no plan for how I'm going to do it or where that money's going to come from. I'm just going to say that I'm going to do it so then I could get, like, the vote of people that are just, like, politically and, like, legislationally, like, ignorant. And that's, like, his current angle, yeah.
I think he's going to pay for, or his plan is to actually pay for some of it through tariffs. So I don't think it's wholly unfounded, although tariffs aren't great across the board.
Chelsea, I appreciate you for the $10 on Venmo for the DNC payment. Thank you for the love, Chelsea. So he's going to pay for a tax plan that disproportionately benefits people making over $500,000 a year through tariffs, which regressively negatively impact members of the low and the middle class the most.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, sometimes they do. But a lot of times they help, such as the washing machine industry. When he passed, I think he passed a 200% tariff there, 100% tariff, some amount, maybe it was 50%. And we did see an increase in rise in the cost of washing machines and appliances, which did impact the lower middle class because, of course, they usually pay for that stuff. But then after about 3 years, it went down, and now washing machines are cheaper and more affordable for the middle class because now we don't purchase as much outside. So the initial cost of tariffs are, yes, correct. They do impact the lower middle class as well. But the long run,
could you please give me like a study to demonstrate that it is the case that relying on goods made in America decrease the prices of washing machines?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Right. But overwhelmingly, the reason why tariffs are bad is because they cause inflation, and that's the purpose of them, to increase the price of goods imported into the country to further disincentivize American consumers from buying them. They also plummet U.S. agricultural exports, especially tariffs on China, because they start trade wars and destroy American businesses. I agree with the sentiment of rejuvenizing American manufacturing, but we could do that through means such as raw investment into the industry compared to unnecessary government regulations such as tariffs that have terrible inefficiencies such as inflation or the destruction of U.S. exports.
Tariffs aren't inflationary in and of themselves because there's only 2 things that cause inflation, and especially if we listen to authors like Milton Friedman, and that's government spending or government printing, and then also when we have too many dollars chasing too few products.
They do cause inflation. How do you think that tariffs incentivize American manufacturing?
Well, inflation is about and let me see if you probably think the opposite. Inflation is about when your dollar is worth less, not that things cost more necessarily in one particular area.
If things cost more, is your dollar worth less?
Not in one particular area, because if your dollar's worth less, your dollar's worth less overall.
Oh, so I don't think that you know how inflation works, right? So yeah, when we could look at inflation within particular sects. We could look at inflation insofar as how much things cost more on a generalized averaged across all goods in the country. But like the point of tariffs is to make the goods from other countries more expensive to further incentivize American manufacturing. They do cause tariffs, and right now you're just really grabbing for fucking straws because you're conceding that things will cost more, but you're just trying to make some trivial fake argument.
You're conflating
that your dollar is worth less.
You're conflating inflation with things causing causing more. They aren't necessarily.
I know that is what inflation is. Inflation, right, is like the rate of inflation is the rate of change in the pricing of a good. That is what inflation is. That is not a conflation. That is what inflation is.
You're conflating the two. That's
that is literally what inflation is.
They are not mutually.
That is not inflation. That is how the term is defined. The rate of inflation is defined as the increase in the price of a good.
Yeah, and so if your dollar costs less, what happens?
Dude, you're not responding to the fact that you're calling it an equivocation when it's not. I don't even know what that meant. That was bullshit. Like, repeat that.
When things cost, okay, so when your dollar's worth less, what happens?
When my dollar's worth less, like
when your dollar's worth less. So when your dollar,
you're saying that your dollar being worth less causes things to cost more, and it's the opposite. Things cost more, causing your dollar to be worth less.
No, it's the opposite.
Define inflation.
Inflation is when you have too many dollars chasing too few goods. That's one aspect of inflation. Or when your
so you're saying that you could have inflation without the pricing of a good increasing?
Say it again. You broke up.
What do you say in order to inflation to occur that you have to have the price of a good increasing?
A good or goods?
A good.
A good, not necessarily. No.
Okay, wow. So you don't need to have the.
So you're talking about inflation of.
So I just want to clarify.
Versus inflation of.
You don't need. So you could say that like the price. You could say that eggs have experienced inflation even if eggs have remained the same price for the last year. You don't know what you're talking about. This is bullshit. So this guy says that you could have inflation without the pricing of goods increasing. You have no clue what you're fucking talking about. No clue what you're talking about. Give me one source that indicate that inflation isn't the increase in the pricing of goods.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm saying it.
So you agree with me that it is?
No. You're conflicting.
Whoa! Now you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that inflation is the increase in the pricing of good, and you're saying that the inflation isn't the increase in the pricing of goods.
No. So let me ask you just one question, and then maybe you'll clear my head on this. So if I sell keyboards and then I decide to raise the price of the keyboards, does that mean that my dollar is worth less?
It's worth less when you want to go buy a keyboard. Yeah.
Okay.
Price
so
of keyboards inflated.
Overall, is my dollar worth less?
Yeah, in the context of keyboards.
And
yeah.
so for keyboards, I need more dollars for a keyboard, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the dollar has inflated. It's the keyboard that has. It's the price of the keyboard.
The dollar is worth less when you're buying the keyboards, meaning that the price, like keyboards can inflate or experience inflation, but other things can't. Like, so, one thing can experience inflation and another thing won't experience inflation.
Yeah, but if I
like inflation is just like generally defined as like the loss of purchasing power due to the increase in the pricing of goods. That is what inflation is. What do you contest? Tell me exactly what you disagree with.
I contest that we're talking about two different.
I'm gonna define inflation. Tell me where I'm wrong. If you can't, I'm gonna kick you. Inflation is generally defined as the loss of purchasing power due to the increase in the pricing of a good.
Okay. Correct.
Phenomenal. So now that we could agree that that is what inflation is, all right, tariffs cause inflation because they increase the pricing of goods imported from other countries, causing there to be a loss in purchasing power of Americans who buy those goods.
Okay. So here's where I think we diverge. Okay, because there are different types of inflation. So inflation is generally when your dollar is worth less due to an increase in supply of dollars. That's different than someone added more costs to a product.
No, that's just another thing that can cause an increase in pricing of goods. The reason why your dollar can be worth less with an increase in the supply of dollars is because then you'd see a larger demand for a good, causing equilibrium price to shift up. But if there's an increase in the supply of dollars and the equilibrium price of a good doesn't shift up, inflation hasn't occurred.
Okay. Now,
right, so like you could like theoretically have an increase in the available amount of money without inflation, given that equilibrium price doesn't increase due to the additional demand.
Whoa, this guy's literally saying inflation can't occur if there's a loss of technology. What the fuck is this guy saying? Right? It's not only defined based upon money supply, right? Not only is it predicated off of money supply in some certain circumstances, but it can also relate to technology. It can relate to cost of production. There could be plenty of different things that can cause there to be an increase in prices, i.e. inflation.
Yeah, it's just
Okay,
like
I don't know what type of distinction you're trying to make with Dean. What you're doing is kind of like irrelevant and useless to the conversation.
No, I mean, I think there's distinctions here. We're either about distinctions or we're not. We're either going to generalize or we're going to nitpick. Okay?
Wait, you're the one nitpicking, if anything.
That's why I'm saying there's distinctions. That's what I said.
That's not a relevant distinction you're bringing up. You're just saying that like what's the point of saying that? That doesn't change whether or not there's inflation.
The point of saying it would be that.
Wait, that doesn't change whether or not there's inflation from a tariff.
It does change. My point does change it because I'm arguing that is not real inflation. That is a different type of inflation.
What do you mean that's not real inflation? It's a different type of inflation. That's a contradiction. Wait.
A money
Stop. You said it's a different type of inflation, but it's also not inflation. That made no fucking sense at all.
Yeah, it's called, one is inflation. Okay, when we have a money supply.
And the other one's not real inflation, but it's also inflation?
Added costs.
Added costs. What are you saying?
That's exactly what I said. Added costs. So if I add costs to something, so if I raise the price because I feel like doing it, because I want to make more of a profit, does that mean your dollar is worth less? Now, there's two different arguments here. There's one, yes.
If everyone across the entire economy does that, undisputedly there's inflation.
Say it again?
If everyone across the entire economy does that, undisputedly there would be inflation. Do you agree?
If everyone does what? So if everyone raises their prices at the same time, correct?
Yes.
I would agree that is inflation.
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you yapping about, bro?
Okay, I just explained this to you.
No, you didn't. You didn't at all. That made no sense.
Yeah, I did. So if I add cost to one product, okay, now that doesn't mean that I have that's inflation of the product, not of your dollar. Now, if it happened all across
what's the point of saying this? Wait, so if you have a universal tariff,
this is because tariffs.
Wait, if you have a universal tariff, that will cause your dollar to be devalued, because not only does that affect imported goods. Listen. Not only does that impact imported goods, but it also impacts goods in the country domestically produced, because there's a higher demand for them, right? With a lower supply, the supply stays the same, demand increases, right? You understand that's going to cause an increase in price of domestic goods as well, domestically produced goods.
I didn't say it wouldn't.
Wait, so then it would be inflation across the board. What are you bringing up?
No, if I add tariffs to Chinese manufacturing, that doesn't mean my South American manufacturing is now up.
What is a universal tariff?
A universal tariff?
It's on all goods imported in the country. Do you agree?
Okay. So what about domestic products? Oh,
okay. What
doesn't count on those, right? So then it's not across the board, across the industry.
So I just told you how it does. The demand increases for domestically produced goods, which causes the price of domestically produced goods to go up. Because there's a lower supply of overall goods in the economy, because there's less imported goods. If there's less competition, the price goes up.
Yeah. So what happens when you add a tariff on, say, a Chinese car, and now the American electric car goes down or stays the same?
Okay, you're just talking about a tariff on one product. There would be inflation in accordance with that particular product, right?
Exactly.
What we're talking about in terms of there being inflation, what we're talking about in terms of there being inflation from Trump's policies is a universal set of tariffs that are 10 to 20%. You cannot just tell me that's not inflationary.
It's inflationary for that product. So the product.
What do you mean for that? Free thoughts. I just explained to you how not only imported goods would be more expensive, but also domestically produced goods. You've either got to be stupid or purposefully misunderstanding me.
Okay, so you add a tariff to a Chinese vehicle at 100%, like Biden's doing right now. So we don't have it. Okay, we don't have Chinese electric vehicles here. What happens to the domestic product? The domestic electric American vehicle? What happens to it?
Yeah, so there would be a greater demand for domestically produced goods, right? So if there isn't competition, there would be an increase in price.
Okay, so what if there is competition? What happens?
Price would go down.
What if there's more competition in that particular area domestically? The price tends to, at least not always, because capitalism isn't fucking perfect, as we know, it tends to go down. So there's no such thing as a tariff that's going to cause inflation of the money supply. The tariff is going to cause.
Wait. We're not making a claim that money supply went up. What we're doing is we're saying the price went up. I just explained to you the first thing I came on when I said is that price changes don't only come from an increase or a decrease in money supply. What you're not taking into account is that there can be changes.
I didn't say they didn't.
What you're not taking into account is that there could be changes in technology that could produce a higher level of price. There could be changes in supply that produce a higher level of price. There could be a government influence taxation that causes there to be a crampling down of supply chains. Right, that can cause prices to go up, and it doesn't have to specifically relate to money supply. Right, what you're trying to identify here is that if there's a greater money supply given the same set of supply and resources, that there's more money going after a smaller set of supply and resources. But if supplies and resources diminish, right, there is also, again, more money going after, right, less goods, because it is the case that there's simply, right, the same demand with lower supply. So both of those are going to cause inflation. It's not just money supply increases equals inflation. This is such a rudimentary understanding of inflation.
But you're assuming that tariffs cause inflation every single time. They don't. And when I say inflation, I'm not meaning money supply.
Jesus Christ. The only way that a tariff could engage in like an increase in domestic production is if the price of imported goods goes up. Otherwise, you're telling me that there's no increased domestic production from a tariff. So what's the point of the tariff?
Okay. If you add a tariff on, say, washing machines, okay, and the washing machines go up that are imported, okay, and then the washing machines that are domestically made go down, is that inflation from the tariff? Because I have an example right here, a study done where that exact scenario happens. So and tariffs are not always, they don't always cause a rise in price across the board forever, okay?
Well, I never said forever with every specific good. Wait, hold up. I never said forever with every specific good. It could lead to technology increases in the United States that would produce that. But if you engage in a universal tariff, it's not directed towards any sort of specialization. So yes, this could happen on an individual scale, and I'd love to see the study that you're referencing. That's not referencing the point we brought up. Because again, I've told you like 4 times, 10 to 20% universal tariff is on every imported good into the country.
Okay, yeah, and those products will generally have added costs to them. That's fine.
Say that one time. Say that one time.
So then those products will generally have added costs to them. Whatever products are are being imported.
Not just the imported goods, but also the other goods, because there's a lower supply. If there's less competition, there's more room for them to increase the price.
Assuming that's the case, but that's not always the case.
Wait, what? Are you saying that if there's less competition, there isn't going to be an increase in prices?
No, I'm saying assuming that's the case.
Wait, what do you mean assuming that's the case? Are you saying like literally less? Are you just saying like the basic things that we take in Econ 101, like literally every economist agrees on? That like given
if there's less competition, the price goes up?
Yes.
Yeah, you're assuming that's the case, but if you look, we
have evidence to indicate that happens. Don't tell me I'm assuming that. We have evidence to indicate that happens, dipshit.
I have evidence to say that it happens the other way, dipshit.
No, you don't.
Shut the fuck up if
you don't have evidence that a universal tariff doesn't do that. Shut up.
Go
you
look
don't have
up.
shit.
Go
you
look
just
up.
made that up, you fucking idiot. You're literally a yapper, bro. You are a certified yapper.
2018 washing machine.
Wait, do you have a degree? Do you have a degree?
Say it again. Do I agree?
Do you have a degree?
Yeah, I do.
What's your degree in?
I have a Juris Doctorate degree.
Okay, so it's not in economics.
I have a minor's in economics.
A minor's in economics, really? What econ classes did you take?
Say it again.
What econ classes did you take?
I took whatever got me the minor.
Whatever got you the minor? You don't even know? You don't even know if you took macro or micro. You don't even know if you took like industrial macro. Organization or like environmental economics, or you have no clue.
You realize you got to take 3 classes for a minor.
You have no idea if you took price theory.
No, I didn't take rice theory. You know, you have to take
rice theory. You mean price? I said price theory. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Okay, well maybe if you spoke a little clearer, I would hear you.
I'm on a phone, dumbass.
Okay, everyone's on a fucking phone here, idiot. It's fucking social media.
You understand it cuts you off, right? If I was on my microphone when I'm at home, right, you'd be able to hear me clear.
All right, well then don't get mad at me because I didn't hear you well because the phone broke up.
No, okay. Well, if you literally knew what price theory was, you would have known that. You would have known it wasn't rice theory.
Yeah, well, that's why I was a little confused at rice theory.
Okay, sure, buddy. All right. Well, I'm gonna get food. Good luck, Dean. This is horrible. I'm sorry for your thoughts, but that was brutal.
All right. Anyways, one of the other main reasons I'm voting for Trump.
Sorry, my mic was muted. I was talking there, but my mic was muted. Thanks for coming up, Parker. W's in the chat for Parker. Hey, could I just ask you a question?
Are you talking to me? Yeah.
Yeah, would you ever vote for someone that's like attempted to stage a coup to overthrow a government in an attempt to rig and change the outcome of a federal election without the voice and the vote of the people?
I would not.
Okay, so seemingly all that conversation was for nothing. Christian, thank you for the $2 on Venmo.
No.
And the reason I say all that conversation was for nothing is because that's exactly what Donald Trump did in 2020. He sent fake slates of electorates to 7 states to send fake votes to Congress, right? Specifically so they could overturn the results of the 2020 election so he could install himself for a second term and steal it from Biden.
Did they win a lawsuit on that? Was he charged for treason?
So like Congress brought like an indictment against him, and there's ongoing litigation in like 3 states. Christian, thank you so much for the $15 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. W Christians in the chat, I really appreciate that. W Christians, thank you. But like the reason that we could stay confident in these claims, even though that the indictments are ongoing, is because he's admitted to it. Yeah, right now he's just arguing that he should be criminally immune.
Okay, yeah. So when I see a lawsuit where he lost and that there's credible evidence that he tried to overturn an election, then yeah, but that hasn't happened yet. So
shit, really? Wait, really?
No,
let's go.
He hasn't
He
hasn't been indicted. I'd assume he'd be charged for treason. He's never been charged for treason, so that really raises my eyebrow on if you tried to commit treason, why wouldn't you be charged with treason?
All right, here we go. Everyone just give us a minute. We're going to go and roll the tape of his lawyer admitting that he sent fake slates of electorates to 7 different states to coup the country and steal the election from Biden. Everyone just give us a minute. We got to find the clip. Hold on,
let me turn up the audio. Hold on.
You got to find the clip. Where's it at? Where's the clip at? Everyone, just give us a minute. In the meantime, while I'm looking for this clip, guys, make sure that we are double tapping away in that phone screen, everyone. Just looking for the clip. I've pulled it up a billion times before. Where's it at?
You're not Parker, right? You're Dean?
Yeah, I'm Dean. The guy that just came up is Parker.
Oh, okay.
We're just still looking for the video here. Should be in here. So, here it is. Found it. All right, here we go.
Indictment or stripped away, that Jack Smith doesn't have a case, that this case should be dismissed on that basis. I don't think there's sufficient private conduct here to support the indictment, to support the ongoing prosecution. And that's what we're going to be litigating in front of the district court now.
Even just the false slates of electors, you don't think that would constitute enough for a trial?
Well, we would say alternate slates of electors. And as we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents, most notably Ulysses S. Grant, to ensure the integrity of prior elections. So we believe the assembly of those alternate slates of electors was an official act of the presidency. That's what we argued before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has reserved.
Christian, thank you for the $25 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love. Let's get some massive W Christians in the chat from Norway. I appreciate you for the love. So I'll go ahead and expand upon that. So basically, Donald Trump is arguing to the Supreme Court and in the January 6th indictments that the election was stolen from him in 2020 and that he sent these fake slates of electorates to ensure the validity of the election to quote unquote steal it back with votes from states saying that he won, even though the real vote said that he lost. He also pressured the DOJ into falsely announcing widespread voter fraud. That was who was it? Who was it at the DOJ? Bill Barr. He pressured Bill Barr and then DOJ to falsely announcing widespread voter fraud. Bill Barr went along with his plan before half the DOJ threatened to quit if he did, so then he resigned. We also have Steve Bannon, his former chief strategist, on record prior to the election saying that Donald Trump was going to call it the night of. And if you look up, you could actually see the fake certificate of ascertainments that they sent to Congress from Trump's team saying that he won states he lost. You could literally see them, and then you could see the email correspondence on the National Archive between Congress and the official electors of the state saying that no, those were not true certificates of ascertainment. We have no clue where they fucking came from, but they are not valid, they are not real, and which Donald Trump is now arguing to the court that they came from him and that it was just him trying to validate the results of the election.
He's arguing that those are he argued they're alternate electors and not fake electors. So you're predicating the question a little different.
Well, I don't know if have you ever
now whether you believe it or not, that's a different story. Have you
ever read the John Eastman memos where like they're calling them fake slates of electorates? Then John Eastman sent a follow-up email and he was like, call them alternate with a winky face.
No, I have not. But in the recording you showed me, he said alternate, and then
there's no difference between fake and alternate.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure there's a distinction. All right, so if I'm driving a car, right, and here's a Toyota, and an alternative to driving the car is a different car, a Toyota. I drive it now, a Subaru. Is that a fake car or is it an alternative car?
There's no legitimate alternative to our official elected slates of electors from states and federal elections.
Oh, I don't know that, but I know that one of the lawyer's arguments was that there is. So I don't know enough. I know there's one lawyer saying
no, there isn't.
There's
There's one official slate of elector from every state that reports who won the election in their state. He sent in a fake group of people to report that he won the state, even though he lost.
Okay, that so far right now I know is that one side saying they're fake and one side saying they're alternative, and I got
but they're describing the same thing. It doesn't matter if you call them fake or alternative. They're describing a slate of electors that wasn't official and didn't represent the
all the time. Trust me, if they're making a distinction, that's because they believe there's a distinction.
So what's the difference?
I don't run that case. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is.
I'm describing to you exactly what they did. I don't care what you want to call it, but what they did is they had a slate of electorates that wasn't made official by the state, right? Cast votes from that state saying that Trump won, even though Biden won that state.
Okay, so
that's what they did.
Okay, so that's what you're alleging they did. And
no, that's what they admitted they did.
Very similar.
You could see the fake votes. Look up Trump's fake certificates of ascertainment online. You could see pictures of them. You could see videotapes of his fake slates of electorates.
You keep calling them
email
fake.
correspondence
between
the states,
now,
their governments,
true,
and the federal government,
like
specifically on like the National Archives. And Hunter, thank you for the $5 on Venmo.
All right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you just one question before I go, because I'm sure you want someone else on.
No, don't run. Respond to the fact that he tried to coup the country.
Oh, I said he would be charged for treason, and he hasn't been. And right now they're arguing whether these electors are fake or alternative.
No, they're arguing if he should be immune from criminal repercussions. He's admitted to these things, and they're arguing if he should be immune from criminal repercussions because of proceedings of presidential immunity.
Well, he's arguing whether those were official or non-official acts, and whether they should.
No. He's arguing that it should be considered an official act of his presidency, but it was not an official slate of electors from the state.
Okay, and so that's their argument. And so far, what I'm getting right now is that he should have been charged for treason, but he's not. That raises an eyebrow. And he's arguing that
litigation is ongoing, bro. The litigation is ongoing.
I know. And then once the outcome goes, we'll see.
No, because we don't need the outcome of the litigation to determine that he did these actions. Because remember, the litigation isn't to determine if he did these things, because he admitted to doing these things. The litigation is to determine if he should be criminally responsible for doing these things.
From your audio that you just played, it sounds like they're arguing whether or not these acts are right or wrong.
No, they're arguing if they should be considered official or unofficial, with that then determining if presidential immunity applies or doesn't apply.
Okay, so on one stage, they're arguing whether these are alternative or fake votes.
No, they're not. That's not an argument, no.
I mean, they just said that in the audio.
No, that's just fucking sophistry. They want to call them alternative because they don't like the word fake, but it resembles the same thing.
So
of slates of electors that weren't ordained by the state sending fake certificates of ascertainment to Congress. There's no such thing as an alternative. Wait, what is it? Okay, tell me what a certificate of ascertainment is.
I don't know what a certificate of ascertainment is.
Okay, I'm glad that we clarified that. So a certificate of ascertainment is the totality of all votes casted in a state in the federal election for the two candidates that are running. So say we're in Colorado and 3 million people vote for like Harris and 2.5 million people vote for Trump. The certificate of ascertainment is coming from the local governor's office and their official slate of electors stating that Trump got this many votes and Harris got this many votes. This is who won our state, and this is how many votes in the Electoral College should be delegated to them. They then take that certificate of ascertainment, they send it to Congress, and on January 6th, it is certified as real, and it is ordained, signed into law, and the president is inaugurated later that month based upon the delegation of electoral votes through the certificates of ascertainment. What Trump did is he made fake certificate of ascertainments from states that didn't resemble the true vote, that weren't from the governor's office or their ordained slate of electorate, and then they sent fake slates of electorates to those states to ship those fake certificates of ascertainment to college alongside the real ones, and which he then wanted to pressure his VP Pence, who certifies the results of the election, into accepting his certificate of ascertainment, not from the governor's office of the states, as being real and reject the real one. That is what has happened. That is what we know has happened. We have the fake certificate of ascertainments. We have the communications between the governor's office of the 7 states that he went after and our federal government and Congress and Mike Pence saying that they didn't know where these came from and that they're not real and that they shouldn't certify them. We have like Donald Trump forcing Bill Barr to announce widespread voter fraud with Bill Barr resigning. We have the audio tapes with Steve Bannon a month before the election saying that he was going to call it on the night of. We know that these things occurred. That's why he admitted it in court. That's why Rudy Giuliani lost his law license. That's why John Eastman lost his law license. And that's why all 3 of them right now are appealing for immunity.
Okay, so we still have the same premise here, right? So, and it sounds like what you're saying is they're saying they did these acts, but they're saying these acts aren't what the other side's necessarily saying are wrong or illegal. And that even if they
they're legislating on the legality, not on the basis if they broke federal law, but on the basis if breaking federal law should be considered under presidential immunity, thereby making him immune.
All right, I'll look into that case, and I'll come back on here with that one. And if you're right, I will concede the point. But from the audio, it doesn't necessarily seem like they're arguing that. But let me ask you this one question.
No. You could hear them. Listen to them. They state it. He called, dude.
Litigating in front of the district court now, and to support the ongoing prosecution, and that's what we're going to be litigating in front of the district court now.
Even just the false slates of electors, you don't think that would constitute enough for a trial?
Well, we would say alternate slates of electors.
So, I mean, let's just pause there because I want to break this down. So the person brings up the fake slates of electors, and then Will Scharf, Trump's personal attorney, doesn't deny that these exist or that they happen or that this is something Trump did. He just said that we don't call them fake.
I agree. He's not denying that
As we argued before the Supreme Court, alternate slates of electors have been a method used by previous presidents, most notably Ulysses S. Grant.
With Ulysses S. Grant, by the way, not getting reelected because he tried to coup the country and change the outcome of the election. Do your research there, too.
To ensure the integrity of prior elections. So we believe the assembly...
And they say they did this to ensure the integrity of the election. What was the claim made by Trump? That he won, Biden lost, and they were ensuring the integrity by stealing it back with their fake votes in Congress.
Alternate slates of electors was an official act of the presidency. That's what we argued before the Supreme Court.
And that's also important right there because he's saying that they argued to the people trying to persecute him for treason and insurrection with the defense that they did do it, but it was an official act of his presidency, so he should be immune from the repercussions due to the new ruling from the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court has reserved that issue for determination by the district court, and we'll see how arguments fall in front of the district court.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court reserves that issue, pushes it back down to the district court, and the district court is now going to determine if he should be criminally immune from those proceedings due to their argument of presidential immunity out of the basis that they want it to be considered an official act.
Okay, like I said, I'll look it up. It sounds like there's 2 main issues there. one being the last you said, and one whether these electors were authorized or not authorized.
No, that's not an issue. We know they weren't authorized.
Well, he's saying they're alternative, like they've been used in the past.
No,
so
but
obviously
they're not authorized. No, they're not authorized. The governor's fucking office has said they're not authorized. Every single state that they sent these fake votes in, the governor's office sent email correspondence on January 6th with the federal government saying, what the fuck is this? Where did these come from? They're not real. Look up Trump fake certificates of ascertainment, National Archives. You could read the goddamn emails. And then if they were authorized, then what federal law would be broken and why would he have to appeal that it was an official act of his presidency? Because if they were authorized, if they were real, he wouldn't be admitting and then appealing for immunity. He would be arguing that they were authorized, thereby not breaking law, so he doesn't even need to consider it an official act of his presidency.
Okay, so yeah, he's one. There's still two issues here. They're arguing whether these are alternative, are whether these electors are alternative or fake.
No, I'm fucking gonna clarify for one goddamn last time that is not an issue.
If it wasn't an issue, then they wouldn't have said it there.
That's right? What they have to call it.
They're saying that
the only reason they don't call them fake is because of goddamn sophistry. Go watch, go read the John Eastman memos where they're all calling them fake, and then he just signs a little email with a winky face saying they're not fake, they're alternative, with a little winky face there. That's John Eastman, his lawyer that lost his license. That's just what they call it. It doesn't matter. Fake, alternative.
This, it looks
who
like
fucking cares?
It looks like these were not the normal electors. And so one side's
they're not the official ordained government selected electors, which is the only thing that functions in our democracy.
Exactly.
You always have one official slate of electors. There's no unofficial or alternate slates of electors. There's only one single slate of electors for every single state for every fucking single federal election. The governor's office ordains a slate of electors, and then they send the vote to Congress. Bro, do you think that Trump won Georgia in 2020?
I don't care whether he won.
No. Do you think that Trump won or lost Georgia in 2020?
I don't care. I don't.
No, answer my goddamn question. Do you think Trump won or lost Georgia in 2020?
According to the official, narrative here, he lost.
Okay. Well, the alternative slates of electors said that he won.
Okay, all right, and I imagine they would, because that's why.
So you tell me that alternative slates of elector, were they lying fake frauds?
I don't know whether I have no idea. I don't know.
So you have no idea of the people saying that Trump won 2020 were lying fake frauds, really?
I don't. I mean, Hillary said that the election was stolen from her. Is she a lying fake fraud? No, she really.
What happened in 2016? She took the proper legal channels to contest the results of the election, and as soon as the Supreme Court ruled that she didn't win, she dropped it. Al Gore did the same thing.
But she still believes that.
You're equivocating between the issues here. You're equivocating between believing that there was election fraud, believing that we should do further investigation, and literally trying to rig the outcome. So please fucking tell me, right, the alternative slate of electorate, right, that Donald Trump sent to these states to cast fake votes into Congress from states that Biden won saying that Trump won, were they lying fake fucking frauds that impeded upon our civil and electoral processes to an incredibly high degree?
Whatever they believe is what they believe.
No, answer my goddamn question. These slates of electorates that went into 7 states, fraudulated their fucking vote, made fake votes from those states.
You keep calling it fake.
Goddamn won. It is fake. It is fake.
This poor kid, you gotta give him a break, man. He's working overtime to cover up all the bullshit of this campaign. You guys are losing. We're winning. All the truth is coming out. Kamala's not even black. Candace Owen broke that story. You are working overtime, kid.
Do you mind if I ask you a question?
You need to get right with God, because Redemption Day is coming pretty soon. Have a great day.
Don't leave. No, don't leave. What is Kamala Harris's father's name, and where is he from? Just out of curiosity. I'll mute your mic, Michelle, but don't leave, because that means that you're running away from me. Are you scared of a 20-year-old? Click on your profile picture and click the icon on the mic. You've been up on these lives a lot. There's no way that you don't know how to unmute. There's no way that you don't know how to unmute, Michelle. You're always going up on these lives being crazy. So, like, please. She's probably still talking. Okay, Michelle, with all due respect, no one can hear you. You're muted.
What is it
probably
you want
still
to ask
talking.
me?
Okay, Michelle, with all due respect.
Echo, swipe in and out of the app.
You're muted.
What is it
probably
you want to ask me?
Okay, Michelle, with all due respect.
Echo, swipe in and out of the app.
You're muted.
Swipe in and out of the app. There you go. You're good.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If Kamala wins and everybody gets drafted and goes off to these unnecessary wars, will you go fight for her beliefs? Will you put your body on the line and go fight for Kamala Harris in all these unnecessary wars? No, you wouldn't. You'd be a draft dodger then?
No, because I actually have bone spurs. I'm not kidding.
Of course you do.
Just like Trump.
Of course you do.
No, I mean, that's one thing that me and Trump have in common is that we both
But would you do
legitimately have
it?
bone spurs.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not lying to you.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
No, I'm actually not lying to you. I legitimately have bone spurs. No, I'm like telling you.
Trump had you attacked him for that, right?
No,
so
no, me and Trump both have bone spurs. No, me and him both have bone spurs.
Hypocrite.
I'm not being hypocritical. We both have bone spurs.
This lady's policies, but you'll come after Donald Trump for having bone spurs. But conveniently, you have that, so you wouldn't have to go fight.
No, I don't come after Donald Trump for that.
Voters will if this lady gets in. Okay.
I don't go after Donald Trump for that.
Who thinks that IUD is like a AB?
Let's talk about it. When does he
you want to
next
talk about it? Let me ask you something. How many children have you had?
I have had 10.
Okay. And let me just tell you something. Did you know? Here, let me just tell you something. Did you know that about 93% of the women who take an IUD do not have a period for years until they have it removed?
Tanya, so thank you so much for the $2 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love.
So they actually don't fertilize eggs. So there you go. So there you go. There you go, twat. There's the answer to your question. Women who have IUD, 93% of them do not menstruate. So that defeats your argument.
I actually don't think I believe that.
Do you have an IUD?
The reason I don't believe that is because
it's absolutely 100% true. Ask anybody who's had an IUD. I know you don't believe anything that a woman would tell you.
My girlfriend and her sister
has an IUD.
My girlfriend and her sister.
You don't believe anything that we tell you. Okay, well, have a good day.
No, don't leave. My girlfriend and my sister. Sorry, and my girlfriend, my sister, and my girlfriend's sister all have IUDs and still get their period. Just saying. I would love for you to demonstrate to me a study. I think that's like the best case scenario is that you get like an IUD or like any like similar forms of birth control and you don't have your period.
Wait a second.
But, like,
so
it definitely
your theory, your girlfriend, then with the AB theory on the IUD, so then you and your girlfriend then AB babies all the time because she has the IUD.
We're fucking killing those conceived zygotes. Should I go to jail for being an accessory to murder?
Okay, this is the stupidity from the left. You guys are such hypocrites. Have a great day.
No, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm smarter than you because you're running away. So I'm just going to go ahead and explain this. So the reason that this isn't stupid and the reason that this isn't hypocritical, it's because it is the case that IUDs, it even says it on the packaging if you read for the first time in your goddamn life, is that they can prevent conception by not allowing the sperm to implant into the egg if the egg is present. But it's also the case that they will allow for conception to occur, but they will prevent implantation into the uterine lining. You shared a stat saying that some women don't have periods while they're on an IUD. That is absolutely true. For those women that do have periods while they're on an IUD and they engage in intercourse, would you consider them to be murderers due to the fact that in some cases they'll actually kill a conceived zygote? Or is this where you run away because you're scared of me and you know that I'm smarter even though I'm half your age and you're just terrified of ever talking to someone on the other side of the aisle that will prove you wrong because you want to cry, whine, shit, and moan in your echo chamber all goddamn day long, and anything that contests that is automatically an idiot. Anyone that disagrees with you is automatically spreading propaganda, and you'd feel so damn uncomfortable if you learned that your tribalistic NFL fucking beliefs that you treat politics in, which is so goddamn horrendous, and every American in the 50s, 60s, and 70s would agree with me, is all that you have to hang on to give your life value. I guess it is. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next guest. Let's go and see what Ozzy Bones has to say. Everyone give us a minute. Katie, I appreciate you for the you're amazing. You know what? You should really be fucking thankful that people weren't tribalistic and partisan like you in the 70s, or Nixon would have never fucking won. But guess what? He swiped all the states red because people used to not vote on the basis of their political affiliation and their echo chambers of dog shit. But they
ass nigger, fuck you.
Okay, sorry, he was slurring. We'll get him out of here. My apologies, chat. But they rather used to vote on who they genuinely perceived as the better candidate, right? And if people voted on who they genuinely perceive as the better candidate today, Donald Trump wouldn't even made it through the damn primaries in 2015. What's up, Rachel? Are you voting for Trump? Okay, Rachel's not here. We're going to move on to our next guest. All right, let's go and get our next guest up in here right now. If you guys do want to support me, my Venmo as well as my PayPal are in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms. I do appreciate you guys so much for the love. Let's go and see what our next guest here, Luke, has to say, y'all. Everyone just do give us a minute, y'all. By the way, guys, yeah, so I debated Ben Shapiro. That video is live right now on Jubilee's YouTube account. Let me know how I did. I think I did pretty well. But one thing I will compliment about Ben is he's definitely probably like the smartest, best debater on the right. What's up, Hole? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. Britt's driving.
Trump's blowing her back out.
She has a husband?
Little fish says
Yes.
Are you saying that in front of your kid?
Maybe.
Okay, yeah, he left because of how fucking wild that was. He left because of how fucking wild that was just to say it all, but then to also say in front of your goddamn toddler. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Hell no.
Hey, W. Let's go to move on to our next guest. W's base guess. Yeah, like that's just wild to say on its own, but saying that in front of a goddamn toddler, dude, oh my god. We're gonna go to get our next guest up in here. Let's go to get Mag. Mag, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, saying to keep it going. I appreciate you for the love. You're so incredibly kind. W Mag's in the chat. Oh no, the person left. No, the person left. It was a picture of me in my Andrew Tate marketing scheme. What's up? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, what's up, Dane?
What's going on? Why are you voting for Trump?
Stronger borders, stronger economy, the regular stuff that we all need.
Strong borders. Trump is pro-open borders. He torpedoed Lankford's border legislation in the House and the Senate 2 years ago. Strong economy. He's worse for the economy. He's going to reduce. He's going to reduce the purchasing power of the average American and increase income inequities.
He is.
Yeah, he sure is, man. That's what tariffs do.
So tariffs? You think that are just negative for the American people?
Super duper bad. There's so many better ways to re-incentivize and inspire American manufacturing that don't have the same negative consequences as tariffs.
What's that?
Just investment of money. Like we could just literally invest money into American manufacturers and they'll be producing to a higher degree, taking up more of the market. But
why haven't we done that before?
We have under Trump and Biden. So Biden and Harris did it with the Chips and Science Act, and then Trump did it with his American Farmers Plan.
So why is everybody leaving?
Well, actually, they're not. We actually have more jobs home in America than we have overseas right now, and compared to Trump's term. And our unemployment rate is steadily declining and has been since the pandemic hit.
Well, absolutely. I mean, duh. I mean, it's a pandemic. Of course, it's going to drop a little bit. Not as much as what it should, though.
But just like not everyone's leaving. That's just fake. Fake news. Fake news.
What do you mean fake news?
Like, the fuck do you mean? Like, wait, so how are you quantifying that everyone is leaving America? Explain that one to me.
Well, I mean, everybody's saying they're going to leave here soon if Trump becomes president anyways, but right.
Oh my God, people say that every election cycle.
Right,
I'm pretty sure my fucking liberal grandparents are like, oh, I'm gonna move to Mexico if Trump wins.
Yeah.
And then of course like all like the Trumpsters are like, I'm gonna move to Russia if Harris wins. Like I don't know, people just do that. Don't ask. I don't. I mean. But hey, I actually maybe if you see a woman saying she's gonna leave America, maybe you shouldn't shit on that because I think that it's totally valid and completely acceptable and morally fine for a woman to move to another country that will actually provide her health care, unlike 21 of our states that don't provide women access to abortion after Trump overturned Roe v. Wade. Just saying.
Okay. Can you explain to me what you think that the states are not going to supply AB to women?
Faith, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I really appreciate you for the love, Faith. Let's get some W Faiths in that comment section. Well, I mean, 22 have already made it illegal.
It's not illegal.
It is. Stop.
Can you give me a source? Can you bring it up on your big screen here and show me that it's illegal?
You really want me to?
Yeah.
What? You don't believe that like abortion is like illegal in like Texas, Alabama, Arkansas?
Yeah, I want you to show it to
Missouri, Georgia.
Straight up on the board so everybody else sees too.
No, I'm not going to do that. You could do that on your own time.
Well, because you're wrong. That's the whole thing. That's why I called you out.
Everyone thinks that you're stupid.
It's not illegal to have abortions in any state right now.
Literally everyone watching this live is laughing their ass off right now.
Then show me.
You want me? Okay, fine. I'll exhaust. I'll exhaust. Okay, I'll exhaust my resources for 10 seconds. Abortion bans in states. Okay, all right. Guttmacher Institute. State bans on abortion throughout pregnancy. It gives you
bring up a big screen here that says I'm voting for Kamala 24 whatever, and bring it up on the big screen so I can see it.
No, I'm not going to exit out of the TikTok app and look this up and screenshot it on my phone. I'm giving you the source so you can look it up. So right here, what you're looking at is a list of all the states on Guttmacher Institute, and it determines where they have abortion bans. Like
you're not allowed to have abortions, period. Right.
Yeah, and like period. No abortions in Texas. Total ban in Alabama. Total ban in Arkansas. Total ban in Idaho. Total ban in Indiana. Total ban in Kentucky. Total ban in Louisiana. Total ban in Mississippi. Total ban in Missouri. Total ban in Oklahoma. Total ban in South Dakota. Total ban in Tennessee. Total ban in Texas. Total ban in West Virginia. There's 13 states with total fucking bans.
You understand how bad this is going to come back on you right now?
For what?
For lying.
Why do you think I'm lying? Sarah, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love.
You can have the abortions in every state.
Dude, are you trolling?
No, I'm telling you the truth.
Oh, yeah, you're trolling.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Just out of curiosity, why do you think that abortion is legal in all 50 states?
Because states actually, none of the states have actually voted on saying that it's, you're not allowed to have an abortion.
So what information or knowledge do you have access to that is driving that conclusion?
It's just the states voting that has said that you cannot let a person. So there's specific things on this, like.
Dude, these people vote. I'm terrified. So I gave you a source from Guttmacher Institute. You could also look at a source from Center for Reproductive Rights, the New York Times, KKF, CNN. Yeah, I mean, actually, I think that CNN has a pretty good graphic. Yeah, go on CNN's website. You can actually just see it, like current status of abortion bans across the country. They'll give you a graph of America, and they'll show you what states it's banned in and which states it isn't, in a very like artistic, visual way. You can think of it for $3.
So you're saying that like them states are not allowed to have an abortions, period, like 100% not allowed to have abortion.
Yeah, there's 13 states with total fucking bans, yeah. Like, what planet are you living on, bro?
Can I talk about healthcare?
Dude, you remind me of like the main character in the Idiocracy movie. Santana, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. And Justin, thank you for the $20 on Venmo for talking to all the uneducated MAGAs. I appreciate you for the love, Justin. Let's get some massive W Justins down below in the chat for the $20. So, like, dude, have you seen whatever, I gotta ask you a question. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy? Okay, I'm gonna talk to him even though he's gone. Like, dude, he's like, total, none of the states have total bans. It's just like straight from the fucking movie. Hey, what's up? Are you voting for Trump? Oh, we're gonna go to assume that. For the 7.3 thousand people hanging out with us in here today, welcome in, y'all. Dude, oh my god, I'm super hyped about the debate with Ben Shapiro. I actually think that it went quite well. I bet a lot of y'all haven't watched it yet because it just dropped, but I can't wait for you guys to watch it. I tweeted out about it 2 hours ago, and it's already at 7.4k likes. Hey, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
Actually, I'm not. I just want to say I love what you're doing.
You're fucking awesome, bro. W's in the chat for the guests. I understand that you may be upset because I kicked you out, but that's because we're just looking for debates, not because I don't love you. Based ass guests. For real, for real, for real, for real. We're going to move on to our next guest here, guys. But please, if you're in the queue, only be hanging out in there if you're voting for Trump and you want to debate. What's up, Mike? Are you voting for Trump?
Yeah, man.
Phenomenal. Before we start a debate, I want to thank Laura for the $30 on Venmo for absolutely grilling MAGA supporters. Laura, you are absolutely phenomenal. Everybody right now, show some goddamn love to Laura in the chat. That is absolutely so kind of you. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you 100 billion times over. Thank you, Laura. Mike, let's go at it. Why are you voting for Trump?
Now, I just think that voting for Kamala is like,
Kamala.
What do you call this? Someone who doesn't know ethnicity. It's not really like normal. I would have voted for her, but the way she dodges about her ethnicity, it's something else.
Chris, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, saying got paid today, needed to show some love. I really appreciate you, Chris. Let's get some W's in the chat for Chris. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Massive W's in the chat for Chris. Thank you so much for the $20. Also, ladies and gentlemen, Mike, you're from the US, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat, calm down. It's okay. I believe him. We're good. That's pushing the fucking boundary there.
Yeah.
That's pushing the boundary a little bit, chat. Pushing the boundary a little bit. Just a little bit, guys. Please. Okay. Anyways, going back. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a little bit insane, chat. A little bit fucking wild. Anyways, back to you, Chris. So yeah, you were talking about her ethnicity. I think she's been very clear on her ethnicity, her racial background. She is South Asian, and she is Afro-Jamaican, meaning she is like Black and South Asian.
Oh, but last time she said she's Indian.
So she is Indian. First of all, Indian's not a race. That's going to be a nationality. But she's simultaneously Indian and Jamaican.
Okay, sometimes she's black also.
Well, she's both.
How do you justify that she's black, she's Indian? Oh, not Indian, like Asian or something else.
Dude, how many parents do you have?
I have 2 parents.
What happens if one of your parents is black and the other South Asian? What are you?
Now, I become black.
You're like both. You're 50% of both. So she's both black and South Asian.
No. So
yes.
She has to say that she's one of the races.
No, she's both. Oh no, she's both. Okay, wait. Can you? What does it mean to be biracial?
Biracial, like you have to have like 2. What do you call this one? 2 races from both. Like if one of your parents is white or black, then something like that.
Perfect example. So if my father is black and my mother is white, am I both white and black simultaneously?
No, you can't be one. Like, okay, we check the American government, like you guys in America, you realize that most of the biracial people, like if one parent is black, one parent is white, you just call that person black.
Well, they're also biracial because they are black, they are white. They're biracial. They are both black and white Oh, you said you guys in America. What time is it?
Nah.
God damn, I was fucking rooting for you too. I really was. We're going to move on to the next guest. Jesus Christ. Okay. Sav, thank you so much for the $40 on PayPal. I really appreciate you for the love. Let's get some W's for Sav in the chat for the $40. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Massive W's for Sav down below in that chat right now. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the $40. Let's get at least 400 W Savs in the chat. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right. Everyone just give us a minute here. Caitlin, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Thank you so much. W's for Sav and W's for Caitlin. When I don't say hi to them like soon enough, they end up just leaving. Wow. Moving on. Okay. Dude, my tweet. Yo, guys. Yo, guess what, bro? This is huge. I just hit 200,000 followers on Twitter. That is so huge. That is so huge. I literally just hit 200,000 followers. That is fucking phenomenal. Hey, what's going on? Are you voting for Trump?
I am, yeah.
All right. Why is that?
I hate to say it, lesser of two evils, brother.
So why is the rapist, dictator, and day one fascist that's also a 34-count felon, and it is the case they've tried to coup the country and overturn the results of the 2020 election, the lesser of two evils?
Sure. Do me a favor and go ahead and prove me he's guilty of rape.
Well, okay. You got it, man. That's not a bad favor. That's not a bad favor. I could do that. I could do that quite easily. Everyone just hold on. Give us a minute. I got to scroll back up in the camera roll.
No, I don't.
Here's a jury verdict form that held him liable for violently sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll. The first question asks if he was guilty of rape. They say no. The reason they say no was because in New York State at the time, they defined rape as a male member entering into the female member without consent. He was held liable for inserting his fingers into her vajayjay without consent. Under New York state law now, that is now considered a grape. The judge clarified in the case that yes, it is grape in the way that we colloquially refer to it. There's legal proceedings after E. Jean Carroll called him a rapist on live TV. He tried to countersue her for doing such, in which the judge determined that her claims were substantially true. And what he did here is defined as grape in 36 of the 50 states today.
Cool deal. Is that the same New York court that also has found him guilty of 34 felony counts that's also going to be appealed collectively, or no?
No, it was not the same.
Oh, it's not the same court. No, it's not the same state. It's not anything, is it?
It's the same state, but it's not the same court.
It's the same state, right? So it's kind of like this. It's like I'll go ahead and make it easy for the younger folks to understand. It's like being in a fraternity, whatever your Greek letter affiliation is, and one person being bad and then sitting here and saying that everybody else is good and then characterizing them as bad and or good. However you want to look at it, in positive or negative and spin it, that's fine. But ultimately, it is.
I know of a fraternity at my college that got
No. Don't twist it. It's I'm trying to make it a little bit more easily to digest. What it is it's simple as this. It's kind of like, hey, let's all raise our hand. Let's all try to do this one thing to get our way, and we'll pull at straws and see what we can get to kind of stick. No, I don't believe that happened. Just like I don't believe the shit with Epstein happened. That woman's lied about it. 3-year differentiation in time. It's quite well known. She said, 93, 96, and it wasn't even palatable or even truthful. So where I'm going with it is that it's really a hunk of junk, and you've got to kind of pick your poison when you're getting killed from every single direction. And you got to choose really what you want to fight for and what you want to go after. Some little person that's going to sit here and say that he did this, he did that. Go ahead. I'll pause.
No, dude, I'm sitting back scrolling through Twitter waiting for you to finish, man. Take it away.
No, that's what I'm saying. You can be disrespectful. That's fine. Go ahead and say what you want to say, because you like to fill the air with nonsense, and I'm willing to hear it. Go ahead.
Hearing you say that is like so fucking funny. Just say.
Why is that funny? You laugh. I don't see you laughing, so it can't be that funny.
Devin, thank you for the $1 on Venmo. It's more ironic, I guess. And David, thank you for the $20 on Venmo for putting up with the cult members' insanity. I've gone pretty good at it, David. One moment. Thank you for the $20, David. I really appreciate that. Let's get some W Davids in the chat for the $20. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. Here we go.
It's not irony. It would be more along the lines of coincidental. So
it's a good mix match of irony and hypocrisy. Anyways,
well, hypocrisy in what sense? So
yeah, for you to like sit here and say that I fill the air with bullshit, and then you just filled the air with bullshit for 30 minutes.
Excuse me. All right, how about this? You're more misleading, and you choose and cherry pick the terms that you want to say to sway people. It's kind of like just saying, like, pulling one sentence out of an entire paragraph and characterizing it like that. Like the Levitia stuff that you smoked that girl on yesterday. Absolutely truthful. I'm not looking to go down the Christianity path with you, but I will say holistically, the reason that you would choose him is because he is a better leader and better at getting shit done.
We can talk about all that next. Let's first talk about the grape case that you haven't allowed me to respond to yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I gave you the opportunity. You didn't take it. So go ahead and take it now.
Can you name one piece of evidence that the victim submitted to the court to prove to the jury that Trump raped her?
It doesn't matter if I can or I can't. Can you?
It does. I can name every single piece of evidence, and the whole chat knows this. I'm asking you the question. Can you answer?
What was it? I don't really recall. Sorry, I don't think it's something.
Yeah, and that's why I was scrolling, man. That's why I was
valid
scrolling.
when I see bullshit.
Okay, let me speak now, please. So that's why I wasn't really paying attention.
Let's not just focus on the rape. You asked me why I'm voting for him. You asked me why I'm voting for him. I'm telling you why I'm voting for him. I don't buy it.
3, 2, 1, shut up. Thank you. Let me finish. So that's why I was scrolling through Twitter when you were speaking, not really paying that much attention, kind of getting a little bit bored. It's because when you were telling me why you contest the findings of the court, you were just kind of like screaming your little annoying emotions instead of actually constructing a confluent argument. So if anyone is to reject the findings of any court, what you have to do is you have to look at the actual evidence. We're going to do it again.
Personal, just get to the fact.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, shut up. Thank you. Back to what I was saying. If you're going to dispute the findings of any court, what you have to do is you have to take the evidence that the jury used to determine the guilt of the defendant, and you have to show how it's either inconsistent or not sufficient to meet the standard of evidence. But that's not what you're doing, because you don't know any of the evidence that she used to submit to the jury to find Trump guilty. All you know is that you're a partisan hack that doesn't care about objective reality, that doesn't care about truth, that doesn't care about being acquainted with reality, but you'd rather contort reality and shift and change it to fit your narrative. E5, 4, we're going to do this time. Even if it is the case that it is at the expense of more harm towards women, the more perpetuation of grape culture, uplifting of grapists, and denying the very real, valid, and genuine experiences that a victim lived and proved in court. Would it be fair for me to say that all the food in your fridge is spoiled?
I'm sorry, my mic went out.
Would it be fair for me to say that all the food in your fridge is spoiled?
Not without knowing, but I'm not sitting here saying he's a rapist or not a rapist.
So you're saying that it's not fair for me to make the claim that the contents of your fridge are spoiled unless I were to go into your house and open your fridge. It's not fair for you to say that the contents of the court documents are spoiled insofar as you qualifying E. Jean Carroll as a liar and Trump not as a rapist unless you open the court documents and look at the evidence submitted. Terrible. I mean, truly terrible. Truly terrible. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Go ahead. You can unmute now. You're good, Pookie. All right, well, while he's like trying to figure out how to mute.
All right, am I back?
Yeah.
Am I back? Cool. Yeah, so we can sit here and debate all this stuff about the court, but ultimately, the New York court system and all the attorneys and most of the folks have an agenda, hidden or not, they do. And that agenda is to take him down. And I get it. Hey, I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but I will say when you politically charge a motivation of criminal aspect or a criminal intent to sway something in your favor, it is wrong. And you can say he did this, you could say he did that. That's all fine and good. None of us really know. Even the person who submitted evidence, it's literally who do we believe more? That's what it is. So that's it. It's not really proven of anything. It's, it's convenient for us in New York to sit here and say we believe this person over them because our ideology, our morals, our values align more with them than the next person.
Yeah, I don't care about your sophistry, bro. Contest the evidence she submitted in the court.
Contest the evidence.
I mean, you're just acting like a goddamn toddler. You're like, I'm gonna say all these words and I'm going to organize them in such a structure where I can think that I can believe whatever I want and be justified in it by painting the narrative that the people on the other side are crazy, are just attacking Daddy Simpai Trump. You know what I mean? Like, that's you, little bro. Terrible. And it actually has real world impacts. And the reason I say that is because when you deny the lived experiences of a woman who didn't just accuse a man of rape, but proved it in court without looking into the evidence or knowing what she used to give to the jury for them to determine that Trump was guilty, right? You just invalidate the experiences of all victims. Imagine how young women and girls feel that get raped. Would they want to come and tell you or any other fucking man that's making the same argument about it when you'll deny a woman that proved in a goddamn court? What do you think this tells the women that don't have the time, that don't have the resources, that don't have the money, that don't have the lawyers, that don't have 2 years to waste in court, that can't prove it and hold their rapist guilty? This tells them, of course, if you're not going to believe someone that did, you're obviously not going to believe me. So you are reducing the incentivization for women to even report these things in the first place. And then on the other hand, what do you think it tells society when you take a rapist, you say they're not without knowing any evidence, and then you build off of that by voting them into the highest ranking position of power currently available on the goddamn earth? You were reducing the social pressures, scrutinization, and consequences that we should give to shitty men who do bad things, and you are reducing the likelihood or incentivization for women to come out about shitty women doing bad things to them, and you are regressing society backwards by further uplifting rape culture, causing more harm to victims. And that is why you're a piece of shit, sir.
Parker, not a piece of shit, brother.
Victoria, thank you for the $50 on Venmo. Let's get some massive W's for Victoria down below. I really appreciate you, Victoria. Show some love to Victoria in the chat.
I mean, it's really humorous that you can sit here and say that, oh, what do you know about the evidence? I don't keep up with that trial because that was it last year or was it this? I don't recall off the top of my head because, frankly, I'm more busy running an entire business nationwide. But I have had the fortunate opportunity to be able to be quite successful and sit here and understand a little bit more of the logistics of what really is happening. And that's very simple. It is a smear campaign by the Democrats to get what they want. They took someone that was...
Yeah. Okay, flat earther. Okay, 9/11 denier. Like, okay. That's just conspiracy bullshit. Use your brain. Turn it on. I'm going to give you one last chance. Give me evidence that it was a false smear campaign, E. Jean Carroll was a liar, and there was not sufficient evidence to hold Trump guilty.
Very simple. Very simple. It's so close on the razor line because no one can go against or for. Okay?
Yeah, no, they had medical records for proving that Donald Trump had raped her. They had therapist notes for proving that Donald Trump had raped her from the 90s, kept in a state licensed record place, by the way. Zoe, I appreciate you for the $5 on Venmo. They had consistency between, right, those medical records, her testimony and the testimonies of 7 others for the idea that Trump had raped her.
Medical records? Are you kidding me?
9 jurors for the idea that Donald Trump had raped her. Even 2 jurors who were Trump supporters with a right-leaning bias. They had a dress that E. Jean Carroll claimed she wore when she got raped with male DNA in it that she claimed to be Trump's, with Trump refusing to provide his DNA to the court for the idea that Trump had raped her. Because if he hadn't and he was an innocent man, what would his good reason be for denying to provide his DNA? Do we see how when you ask me a question, I'm able to break it down to the very specific, intricate details of the case, and I'm able to explain to you with great detail exactly why I think the way I do, with unphenomenally good reason, but then you sit here, you reject, deny, and you just hold to the same conspiratorial bullshit that it's a deep state attacking your God.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is conspiracy, Parker.
Okay, you just admit that you're a conspiracy theorist, really?
Stop fucking around and ever talking and having people mute so you can get your word in. It's bullshit. So here's the fact, Parker, is I don't really care. You asked me why I'm voting for Trump. I'm giving you the reasons. It's because he's a better leader. He's not this succubus of awfulness and can't get an idea out, who doesn't have a freaking policy, who has no respect from anybody in their own party, in their own country, or the world for that matter. At least he's got the fortitude to go with it. I will say this. We are in a situation of the lesser of two evils. Absolutely. I would love an ideal candidate like Victor or your boy Charlie. Those kind of guys.
He has like the world's respect. So then why was he laughed at a UN council?
That may be a mistake.
Why do we have leaked Kremlin documents where Putin says that he's easy to manipulate? How come we have videos of him at Helsinki believing Putin's word of mouth over U.S. intelligence? How come there's actually higher approval ratings?
Have you ever worked in like a professional adult environment? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There's something called saving face. You got to know when to play your card. No one ever wants to sit here and say, you know what? I just absolutely have been gotten the best of by this person. Never. Of course you're going to talk trash. It's just like Theo said it the best. We're all kids growing up trying to figure this thing out. You save face, brother.
You actually don't talk trash in quote unquote save face in professional adult environments.
Yes, that happens all the time. I don't know.
What kind of professional adult environments are you in?
In corporate USA, baby.
Oh yeah, you don't talk trash to save face in professional.
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. Okay, example.
As someone that's probably been in corporate US for longer than you with more fucking experience.
No, you haven't.
One day of me in the office.
You haven't. I'm VP of Sales of the United States, and actually,
and one day of me in the office is equivalent to 5 years of your goddamn life. It's not about how long you've been at it; it's what you do with your goddamn time.
What's your scoreboard, Parker?
And unfortunately, I have proved that on this live. I have proved that me and my 6 goddamn months of experience in politics outclasses some dumbass on TikTok spewing bullshit at 54 years old.
No, you haven't done shit. You haven't done anything. All you do is sit here and do the, thanks for the 20, thanks for the 1. Let me hang on to my religion. Let me hang on to this. Oh, I'm some kind of weird 1900s. Whatever.
Wait, I haven't done anything. I just want to clarify. You think I haven't done anything?
You asked me why I voted for Trump. I just told you. You asked me why I voted for Trump.
There is 7.5 thousand goddamn people sitting in this stream right now.
I don't give a fuck.
Because I've done something with my time.
Great
and
job,
Dev, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate
Enjoy that
you for the
$10,
love.
Parker. You can go get you an ice cream. Good.
I didn't get $10. I didn't get $10. What are you talking about, bro?
I'm sorry. I'm talking. Who's this Parker fella? Are you Parker or the other guy?
I'm Parker, dude. You've been calling Dean Parker this whole time, dude. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure I've talked to you. How do you not know the difference between me and Dean?
Oh, you and Dean? I'm sorry. I don't even know who you are.
You've talked to me before, dude.
Bentley, thank you for the $5 on Venmo for Parker. I appreciate you for the love.
Yes, you have.
Jordan, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo saying get Chipotle and said Jordan just sent me $20. Are you fucking jealous? Are you vehemently jealous that Jordan just sent me $20?
I don't really give a shit. I care about
Victor, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much, Victor. I appreciate it.
I care about you talking about why I'm voting for Trump, and you tell me why he's not the better leader. Who's been more effective at getting shit done?
Kamala Harris.
Okay, what is it? What has she done? What has she gotten done, Parker?
Some of the most monumental legislation in modern U.S. history. The Chips and Science Act, that's specific. That induced the idea that we're going to be producing 20% of the global chip supply by 2030. The PACT Act, that's specific.
Thank you for the $1.11 for thanks, Dean.
That invested nearly $1 billion into the expansion of VIA healthcare benefits. The infrastructure bill, that's specific. That invested $1 trillion into the expansion of infrastructure to renew infrastructure in local small communities, to invest in their economy, to create construction jobs. The American Rescue Plan, that's specific. Increase funding to HBCUs, that's specific. Passing more tie-breaking votes in the Senate than any VP we've ever had in American history, that's specific. The Inflation Reduction Act, that it was actually deficit reducing over 10 years while investing in the most ever into renewable energy resources. We're also investing in fracking. That's specific, making it so America is now producing more oil than any country that has ever existed in history of the earth, including America under Trump's administration, with a max of 13.4 thousand barrels of oil per day compared to Trump's max of 12.9. That's specific. Reducing the reliance on imports of oil from other countries so we're more energy independent. That's specific. What do you want next? I've given you a lot of specifics. How about you tell me one policy that Donald Trump influenced through Congress that benefited the average American more so than rich people? Why don't you be specific, sir? Tell us Trump's accomplishments in office.
Oh, absolutely simple. I lived it, brother. I lived it.
Tell me the policy. I don't care what you lived. I care what you know. Tell me the policy that he influenced.
If you lived, you should be able to tell us the policy.
No wars. My dollar went further.
No wars?
Better. Yeah, what wars did he happen? What wars
Christian, thank you for the $25. Thank you, Christian. There were 65 service members that died in conflict under Trump's administration.
65 in 4 years is pretty fucking good.
He caused the Turkish-Kurdish war because he pulled out of Kurdistan.
So far under Biden, how many people? 13. It's okay. So 65 and 13. So we've lost less than 100.
It's 16. There's been 3 more.
Okay, so 16. Are we sure? Is that the same kind of thing as like the job reports and everything else has kind of been miscalculated, mistabulated, and then we're going to have to go and redact?
No, because these aren't estimates.
Sure? Oh, we're sure.
These are not estimates. Okay. Gabrielle, thank you so much for the $20.24. Thank you so much. Plus, there was also a 500,000. Hold up, listen. There was also a 500,000 revision under Trump's administration in terms of jobs.
Mm-hmm. Right. So he was plus 300 plus, even with a pandemic. I mean, it's.
Let's not change it. There were more people that died in conflict under Trump's administration than under the Biden-Harris administration.
Really? That's fine. It was a neighborhood of what, 40 people out of 4 years? So he lost 10 a year with a COVID pandemic. Is that what you're factoring in?
No, 65.
As well, or we can go ahead and adjust that?
65.
So 65 people? Okay. Fair enough. I don't give a shit. The fact is that's absolutely fucking brilliant considering what he came with. I don't.
Bro, that's
awesome,
crazy.
guys.
That's crazy. Saying you don't give a shit about veterans dying is crazy, bro. In conflict, that's crazy. They were fighting for this country,
it's not that I don't care.
right? They were fighting for this country, right? And you're saying, well, hold up, listen. They were fighting for this country, and you're sitting there and you're like, that's fine. I don't care about the fact that they got killed.
About veterans dying. What I care about is I don't care about the number. It doesn't matter. So if we lose 1 or 100, is it different? No. That's
then
what
you don't care about the veterans dying.
Life was lost. You can't marginalize the number. You can't marginalize the number by sitting here saying that one person loses their life is any less important than 1 million losing their lives. You can't sit here and say that. That's why I don't care about the number. Because losing even one is important. So who gives a shit? So they're both losers in that category. How about that? Can we agree on that?
So I think that obviously it's not good that 16 died. And I think that's a bad thing. I think that we need to have some sort of recognition of as a society. Be quiet, please. Let me finish.
So all numbers are wrong. All numbers are bad.
You mute him?
All numbers are bad.
Yeah, so we need to have a recognition of that in society because we don't want veterans to die. We care about human lives. No. I care about American lives. No, so if we quit, can you be quiet?
Absolutely.
Can you be quiet? So if we care about American lives, then we also have to recognize the 65 service members that died in conflict, right, and risked their lives for this nation.
Hillary, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, Hillary. W. Hillary's in the chat. Thank you so much.
No one is sitting here trying to devalue, not giving them the recognition. All I'm saying is if it's 1 or 1 million, it's no different in my eyes. No different. It should be zero.
Such an insane thing
I will
to say.
sit here and categorically
you can't say 1 million veterans dying is different than one veteran dying. Then I don't know what to tell you.
Not to me. Not to me. Because every life is important. Every life is important,
which means 1 million is more than one. Genius. Wow, this guy's such a fucking head ass.
Like lives have compounding importance.
I'm not a head ass.
I just want to ask you. So
it should be zero. It should be zero.
So we have someone. Hey, Draw, can I ask you a question?
There's a difference between 1 and 1 million. That's so fucking stupid.
Let's just think of a hypothetical here. So let's assume that someone robs a bank, brandishes a pew and like shoots someone because they got a little bit high amped and they die and they're charged with murder. Should they have the same consequences as Hitler?
What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make sense.
One person kills one person. One person kills like over 6 million. If
Phil,
one person dying is just as bad as 6 million people dying. Should we look at
it's counterintuitive what you're saying,
one count murderer
I'm saying
the same way we look at Hitler?
Who can get it to zero? Who can get it to zero is all I'm saying.
Answer my fucking question. Should we look at someone that murders one person the same way we should look at Hitler who murdered millions? Like 12 million. Should we look at like a one count murderer the same way we'd look at Hitler? Because at the end of the day, you don't give a shit if it's one life lost or 12 million.
Absolutely. The circumstances around your from 1940s, that guy, are completely different. But I will tell you,
it's one. What's different? It's one person dying compared to 12 million.
To me, it's all the same because one person's life is the same value to me as 12 million. Sorry, you can't believe that. You can't have respect.
You don't look at Hitler any differently.
Wait. We can reduct you.
That's what I just told you. I just said before you muted me. I just said before you muted me.
Listen. Trump raping one woman is equivalent to Trump raping 12 million women.
So we're jumping from murder to grape now. What are you guys doing? Come on. I'm sitting here telling you, I value an individual life just as much as I do 12 million. Okay? There's no quantitative difference to me. One person, one single individual, and that's where we starkly are different. Because what you guys want to do is provide this holistic shit for everybody.
Do you think that a woman getting an abortion is murder?
I don't know, and I'm different in that way. I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Fuck.
I don't
Wait. Would you say that like a pro-lifer that does think a woman getting an abortion
I think
is
it's
murder?
circumstantial.
According to their world,
circumstantial.
no. Would you say that a pro-lifer that does think that a woman who gets an abortion is murderer should, at the bare minimum, look at a woman who gets an abortion the same way they look at Hitler?
Not a fair comparison.
Why not?
Because you have to look at the exchange of life. We have a living human being who is here, and we have have someone here. I can't sacrifice the life of someone who's in front of me for something that has not actually set foot on the earth. And I also think that a woman has the right to choose. We have to put a time limit on it. This whole nonsense of late-term abortion, which happens, we all know it does.
Wait, it's like, are late-term abortions murders?
Late-term abortion murders, I would have to say yeah to a certain extent.
Okay, so do you think that a woman who gets a late-term, so do you look at a woman who gets a late-term abortion any differently than you look at Hitler?
I would say yes. Well, no, not. You're talking about Hitler, who just absolutely killed people for a cause, not for the benefit of themselves. I think under circumstances, when it's not used as birth control, you absolutely have to have it. Now, if something happens to the fetus, it's going to compromise.
Hey, Parker, you want to go react to the Jubilee videos now? This guy's a droid.
Yeah, this guy's fucking delusional.
Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and kick him.
All right. I was gonna click live like right now. I think I can do it while on live.
Yeah. Hey, while you're clicking live for the 8,000 people in here, I'd just like to reiterate, I will not be live for the next 3 days. So I will not be live Friday. I will not be live Saturday. I will not be live Sunday. But then I will be live again on Monday later. Megan, thank you for the $5 on PayPal. And the reason that I will not be live for the next 3 days is because I will be going to Ann Arbor, Michigan to talk to voters, boots on the ground, with a group of other influencers. I don't think I know any of them, to get people to go out there and vote. So, yeah, I'm going to be boots on the ground in Ann Arbor, Michigan, getting people to get out there and vote. So, yeah, out there, Ann Arbor, Michigan. If you happen to be in the area, I'm sure that, like,
Dude, you're cooked. You're cooked. You're literally going to...
No, I'll be safe. I'll be safe because of who it's with.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be safe. It's like a setup thing, guys. So I'll be safe. But yeah, feel free to show up feel free to show up at these events. Because I'm
kind of sick. They need to have us do that together. Oh fuck.
I know.
Here I'm clicking. Should I do chat and interview?
Yeah. Wait. Make sure you do it. So it's on the mode where you can add guests.
Yeah, I know. I did. I made sure to do that last time because of what happened.
Oh. So yeah, I'll be in Ann Arbor. That'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that for 3 days. I will not be going live. I'm going to be boots on the ground. But we will be doing some fun things out there.
Okay.
We are going
go live.
We're going to be doing a handful of things. I'll be making some content. It'll be a whole lot of fun. But yeah, that's where I'm going to be. So if you happen to be in the area, feel free to pull up. I'll probably be posting a lot about it on my Instagram and my Twitter. I won't be as active on TikTok for the streams for the next 3 days. But y'all, everyone, we are actually now going to go ahead and head over to our friend Matt's account because it has access where we could go live from a computer. And we're actually going to be reacting to Jubilee's new video.
People are joining in. So what's good, everyone joining in the live right now? How y'all doing today? Give it a few minutes for people to join in. What's up, everyone joining in the live right now?
Let's get everyone to rate it. So it's rockin.librarian, right?
Yep. Rockin.librarian, everyone.
Would everyone spam at rockin.librarian in the chat right now?
Is that the view count or is that new followers? Oh, that is the view count. Okay. We're about 200 people right now. Everyone keep joining in. Keep joining in.
Everyone spam at rockin.librarian, y'all.
Everyone join rockin.librarian. Do y'all see how good the camera quality is, everyone? Does the camera quality look pretty insane? And I also already ate my cinnamon hand rolls, so based. So, you have to do that online.
So that's where to go, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you all over there. We're honestly going to end the stream now, but everyone just come out and hang out with us.
Yep, join in right now. Join in right now. All the people joining in, how y'all doing? How does the live look, everyone? Thank you for the hat and mustache. Thank you so much.
So I'm going to go ahead and
good. You're going to join?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and join. I'm going to go ahead and end this live. All 7,000 of you guys head over to @rockin.librarian.
All right.
Wait, I'm actually going to do this before we end. I'm just going to pin this for like 30 seconds and then we're going to end. Everyone head over there now. Just leave this stream. Just leave it. Just leave this stream. Head over. It's on TikTok, you guys. It's on TikTok. Everyone run over there. Everyone run over there. Where we going? The @ that is pinned. What platform on TikTok? It is another TikTok account. You actually can stream to TikTok from your computer. It's awesome. But yeah, I'll be inactive for the next couple days on the streams. We're gonna do boots on the ground. It's my first time ever actually getting out there in person, boots on the ground, getting people to vote. So I'm really excited, though. You know, I'm willing to take the hit to the streams for a couple days so I could get in there in person. You know, I feel like I need to put that sweat in. It's a rite of passage, and I'm really excited for it. All right, see you guys there at rockin.librarian. Peace.